Welcome everyone to this night of VCS action. We are finally back. I'm very sorry again for missing the semifinals, but they were kind of one-sided. So I hope we get to
They
see
went how
some.
we expected.
Yeah, hope we get to see some more interesting series. Today will be the elimination match. Both teams are on match point or on. They have to win this one to have a chance to get to Worlds. So very exciting series. Who cares about LCK? Who cares about semifinals in the LPL or the LMS final? We're in the VCS here, and we want to see which team stays alive and which team has to go home and enjoy their very long vacation. Every day, how are you?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
do you think?
I'm good, man. I'm keen to be back. Very, very happy to be back casting some VCS. I've missed it more than I can say. So, and yeah, as you're saying, this is really important for both teams. You don't want your season to end this early. You definitely want to have a bit more of a postseason. We're gonna have to see which team can do it. Can the Buffalo continue being the international threat from the VCS, or is that dominance well and truly over?
Yeah, looking at series predictions, I think everyone not a DBL fan is probably predicting a low-key win here, even though they were not able
Yep.
to take a single game off GAM. I think overall they looked stronger. I especially liked their ideas coming into the series, lane swapping on GAM, actually putting zeros behind a little bit in game one, and they went off to almost 3k gold lead in the first game against GAM. Looked like they would be able to take the game. Sadly, a few mistakes in the mid and later stages of the game cost them the game in the end. But yeah, I was impressed by Loki, I have to say, especially in game
I think
one.
that was pretty
Draft priorities, as I have tweeted about earlier, was something to look at here in the
good.
VCS.
That was a bit of a joke.
Tristana first
Yeah,
pick. Will we see Tristana first pick again? That's my question coming in today.
I hope not.
I mean,
It didn't work out too well, so uh, definitely will be interesting.
yeah, very low priority on Kiana, for example, as well. Very strong champ on this patch. In EU, she's perma-banned on red side. She does not even see the rift ever, so don't really understand why Vietnamese teams don't want to pick her up, especially because, in my opinion, Kiana fits the Vietnamese meta very well. Like, a lot of
Yeah,
skirmishing, good CC, good early game. As we see, get a little bit of a look at the bracket here. As you can see, today is the elimination match, or the, you could say, loser final match.
yeah, the lower bracket.
Lower bracket, yeah, that's the name, right. So there it is, Loki against Dashing Buffalo. The winner moves on to face the loser from the final, which will most likely be Team Flash. I don't think anyone is predicting otherwise. I think it's a 3-0 in the final
Yeah,
for GAM.
yeah, Gum's just on another level, but hey, who knows? It's been a week. Flash might think up something, so
I mean, it's still
we'll
two
have to find out.
weeks to
But
the final, right? So
exactly, exactly. So they got plenty of time.
we're
Have to see
insanely
what they
late here in the VCS when it comes to
Yeah,
finals
it's
and
bloody.
qualification. I mean, NA is already enjoying their vacation before Worlds. I think most of the teams will probably move over to EU while VCS is still playing this season. And
Yeah,
Razo,
I mean, that's actually an interesting topic. While we're waiting for this game to start, what do you think about a lot of the major region teams saying they're going to boot camp in Europe?
I think it's smart, right? You don't want, especially for the NA teams. I think it's a smart call. I'm not sure if the Eastern teams want to do the same because yeah,
I don't think they.
yeah, I don't think so
Will.
either. I mean, they'll eventually be in the EU, right? So they have to go there
Yeah,
for Worlds. So I guess 1 week, maybe 2 weeks before World starts, all the Eastern teams will be there as well. So I think it's a smart call to just stay in Europe, acclimate to the time zone, to the food. Even I don't think it's
yeah.
that hard to get used to European food, especially in Berlin.
I think if you're from the east, it potentially could be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A
Um,
very good point in chat.
Asian diet is very
We should touch on that. Meliodas is back in, and
much.
for some reason he was not playing in the what do you call it, semi-final, first round, whatever it is. Um,
Yeah, semis. Yeah,
I guess it's semi-finals because if you win, you're in the final, right? So
yeah, it's
semi-final.
a semi. Yeah, Meliodas not being played at all was very, very strange. I have to think there must have been something going on behind the scenes, like illness or something, which, again, we can only speculate, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and it definitely didn't work.
No, Shuhauer did not look good in the series.
No.
Not at all. I think the outstanding players definitely were the bot lane for Dashing Buffalo, and I think Big Koro and Palette heavily outperformed Slater and Artemis as well as Hin on the support position. Big Koro got the first turret sub 10 minutes multiple times in the series and had insane
Yep.
performances. So I think Big Koro and Palette are probably the players you want to play around. I really want to see Rezo on something different than Aurelia. I'm not too keen on seeing him play Aurelia again.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. But as the champion select is rolling on, bans are pretty standard here. Not too many target bans, just a bit of tier list, but Rezo gets his Aatrox.
Yeah, that's a very good start for Dashing Buffalo, in my opinion. And we see the Kiana hovered.
There we go. Kiana's
Oh,
locked in. They've caught up to the meta, boys.
yeah, I think so too.
VCS confirmed best region in the world.
This looks very 9.16. So I think one more week has probably helped them adjust to the new meta here. And Aatrox first pick into Kiana Silas. This is what we want to see. Zaya open still as well. She's the strongest ADC by far on this patch.
Yep.
Could pick up
Do
Zaya
you
Rakan
pick
here.
the Rakan with it?
I think you can, because Loki only has one slot remaining, right?
Meliodas bringing out the signature.
I mean, the signature, good or bad way.
It's in his name, right?
um, a lot of fans actually hate to see Meliodas lose, and I think he has been better in summer, so I don't want to give him too much flack this early on. I think he has played some very good Lee Sin games, even in MSI, so let's see what he can do today.
Absolutely, and the lock-in of the Camille as well. So that's pretty much the solo lanes confirmed. There's not really too much flexing that can be done now, except maybe you could technically flex Silas into the mid lane, Kiana into the jungle.
Yeah, but it's still the solo lane has picked up, right?
Yeah. But it's definitely the solo lane, exactly.
Interesting thing about this Camille pick, I just want to quickly touch on, is it was perma-banned by Dashing Buffalo in the first series. So they were very, very scared of Camille, and now she's left open, and Loki immediately locked her in for Hani. That's interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, potentially a very good observation that maybe DBL's not quite ready to play against it. Can be a little bit hard to say. And, I mean, I have to wonder, are we going to get the return of Hex Flash LeBlanc?
Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, it's not Optimus, right? It's not Optimus. I don't think Null will go for Hex Flash here. It's still a LeBlanc, that's true. Null LeBlanc.
So who knows? But with the bans, it is 80 carries being banned out by Loki. Zaya and Kate both removed. Obviously, both very strong at the moment. So that is not too much of a surprise.
Yeah, I think there are two ADCs available for Celebrity right now. High priority ADCs, I should say. Lucian or Kai'Sa. Now let's see what he wants to go with here. Could be the... Oh, it's actually Varus coming in.
That's interesting.
So this is a top-side focus draft now. Varus, you typically want to pick Varus to just hold the lane and completely focus your attention towards the top side, which, considering you have Camille and Kiana in the solo lanes, or maybe Silas in the solo lanes, is absolutely fair. I'm not sure if it's the best strategy against Dashing Buffalo. A little bit scared for Loki now.
I am a little bit as well, but we're going to have to see if they can pull anything else out of the hat. Obviously, they've only got their support to pick up. Big Koro gets his Kai'Sa as well, so he's pretty pleased with that.
And now Dashing Buffalo hate their own bans, because those are the two premier support picks for the Kai'Sa.
Absolutely, but they go with the Thunder Bear.
I'm not a big fan of Volibear, I have to say. I think
I hate it into this draft.
Yeah, I think it was very good into a lot of the drafts on in the first semifinal, because it was volley from Slay into Tristana, and we saw multiple times that the Volibear was actually able to cancel Tristana's jump, and then she's just dead most of the time.
It's just sitting dark.
Yeah, but against the ADC without a jump, I really don't like Volibear. I don't think he's that great a pick to just pick him up without considering the matchups. So
I completely agree. I just even considering that he might be able to do something in lane, but how does he ever get onto this team? How does he do anything later on in the game? He has to flash flip, and even then, they're pretty resilient against that.
yeah, they're
And
very.
Tahm the final pickup.
Yeah, it's the typical Varus Tahm Kench lane. I hate Tahm Kench on this patch. I still think teams should go away from him. Saw one Tahm Kench already picked up by Griffin in game 1. They lost, so I was happy they lost,
Yeah,
even though.
Korea, though. LCK is absolutely never going to stop picking up
I
Thomas
guess
Kench.
that's true.
LS has signed a pact with the devil to ensure he gets his Thomas as often as possible.
Yeah, it's probably true. So what do we think about the lanes?
I think Camille should be fine into Rezo's Aatrox.
In fact, some people say it's a counter.
Yeah, I would agree with those people, honestly. Kiana into LeBlanc. Now that's an explosive matchup.
And a very scary one for Artifact. Kiana, very interesting champ to watch. I really love to watch her because her laning phase is kind of iffy. She's very bad in lane, but she has kill pressure, which is a very interesting thing to think about because if you just lane, she will fall behind. She can't. She doesn't really have the tools to continuously trade. But if she ever catches you off guard, she immediately kills you to burst you down. So it's always interesting to watch Kiana. I think into LeBlanc, she should have a very hard time, especially if Null is finally back to his week 1, week 2 form, which was very strong.
That would be a very big boon for DBL. Now, I just want to make a joke that I've actually spent time today setting up because, we're coming back and I went out and I actually bought a can of Coca-Cola Energy. So to celebrate coming back, just crack that one open. Not even going to drink it because I don't drink them. I spent $3 to make that joke. I hope you appreciate it, chat.
Great.
I was already at the shops and I saw it on sale.
It was on sale and still $3? My god, that's an expensive Coke.
I mean, it was a 4-pack.
Okay, that's it.
The cashier warned me it's not good. Not great, but anyway, we are in the game, not just talking about random things that I do with my time, because I've got nothing better to do. Back to the lanes. Bot lane, I think, is going to be a quiet one. I don't think much happens down there at all, really.
No, especially if it goes Loki's way, because Loki does not want bot lane to be a focal point in this draft. Probably want a little bit of priority in lane with Varus into Kai'Sa, should be doable. But we should see some top lane and mid lane focus attention from Loki. Not that early on, because it's Sylas. Sylas does not really want to gank prior to level like 5, maybe even 6. Looking at the ults he could pick up, Lee Sin is great for ganking, especially. LeBlanc is kind of okay. Aatrox not that used. No.
It's actually not a very good selection of ults overall. Venus taking a lot of damage there in the bot lane.
Yeah, trading level 1 against level 2 is not great. He didn't choose to do so, obviously. There was the palette engaging on him. So Venus has to be a little bit more careful, but he has exhaust still available, so no immediate kill pressure coming out from DBL's bot lane. But once again, we see them dominate the early lane, as they did against Flash all 4 games.
Yeah, very expected as well, especially with the draft coming out. I think it is a shame that Celebrity being put on Varus duty. Doesn't let him do a huge amount early on, but of course he can end up dishing out tons of damage later on, as it is obviously that lethal tempo, I should say, Varus. So he won't be going for any cheeky poke builds, which we do sometimes see more on that mid lane Varus, though.
Yeah, the only real bot lane Varus build, in my opinion. There are very
I
specific drafts where you can go for the lethality build, but it's very risky. If you fall behind on lethality Varus, you're never coming back. It's pretty much
It's
useless
true.
from behind.
Yeah, very, very true. As you see, Meliodas getting. Ooh, no, he's trying to sniff out what's going on there. Gets a nice little ward down.
Will he
Sorry,
get
I
the
should
angle
say.
to hit the Q on a celebrity here?
He's got to line it up.
Why is
The
Palette so
matrix is flowing
slow?
down his screen.
He was
That's just the tongue catch
insanely
tongue.
slow. Wow.
That tongue catch tongue is absolutely ridiculous.
But it's still 50, like 40% speed buff, no? For a Volibear? I expected him to
Something
be a
like
little bit
that.
more fast. My
That was
god.
incredibly slow.
It looked like slow motion there.
It almost looked like a. I thought my stream was lagging.
Yeah, indeed.
Very, very slow, but still, the first gank attempt from Meliodas does nothing. Nothing gained at all. So, this is good for the side of Loki, obviously. DNK pushes into the enemy jungle, gets a little bit of scouting, gets a little bit of
Oh,
vision, and the Silas is safe.
yeah.
Ooh,
As we have
lots of pings on the
oh,
top side.
we actually don't have too much time as there are three players approaching top side. Razor probably has an inkling that there's something
Ooh,
about to happen.
Rezo. He needs to hit B right now before this wave crashes,
Nope.
but it might not be. Nope. See you, Rezo. Ooh, he goes for the tricky
I
plays,
think
but
you're.
first blood secured for DK. Am I behind?
Yeah, you're behind. I saw the kill happening 10 seconds ago or something.
Goddamn. I'll restart my
Okay,
stream.
okay, you restart your stream. Sorry for that one. We're back to our usual procedure here.
Monday, guys. I move into good internet.
So the
Get
finals should be
excited.
without any delays, so you can get
Yeah,
excited about
the
that one.
finals are going to be crispy clean. What are you at? Sorry, while we've just got a little bit of downtime, we can just reset.
5:41, 42.
Okay, I'm at 6 seconds behind.
Okay, I'll stop at 5:50.
Okay. Apologies, everyone. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50.
Okay, there we are, and we should be back in sync and get a little bit of in-time play-by-play.
Yeah,
I
not
mean, the
casting.
review is very nice to look at as well, right? What happened
Yeah,
again?
of
Oh,
course.
nice. We get to see the live picture a little bit later.
But yeah, this was a pretty textbook gank. Good attempt by Razor to get away. Did force DNK to use his
Yeah.
flash, which he didn't want to use. So
Not too much to
he
blame
needed the
Razor
best he
for
could.
there. I think he actually sniffed out the gank perfectly there.
He
He
was,
couldn't really do a
yeah.
whole lot more.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not Razor's fault. He just couldn't do anything. 3v1 needed Meliodas there to cover him, and since he wasn't available, he died. So we're going to have to see if he can come back from that one. It's going to be a little bit rough as he's now up against Harney with the Sheen. So what is potentially a bad matchup is only going to get worse.
But to touch on this matchup discussion, I think it's actually very interesting little game going on with Camille into Aatrox in terms of the rune choice, because usually I don't like to see the Conqueror on Aatrox, as I always harp on about, but I think if you get the Conqueror into this rune choice, into the Grasp, you actually get an advantage on Aatrox. So he won the rock paper scissors game pretty much, because if he goes Conqueror into Conqueror, he loses. If he goes Grasp into Grasp, he loses. But Conqueror into Grasp is actually a good matchup for Aatrox because he has the longest trades into Camille. Yeah, so it's very funny how this matchup works out.
Oh, Paulette. Oh, he's so slow.
It's so sad to look at. My God.
He's in some trouble here. Thankfully, Meliodas will be coming in to bail him out, but that is the Volibear passive proc.
And the heal as well, right? Yeah, Bikura had to invest his heal to keep his support safe.
Was there a time catch buff I missed or something? Because that is considering the Volibear speed buff, that is an absolutely ridiculous slow.
I mean, they have two slows, right? They have the Varus E as
True.
well, which is very easy to
That's true.
apply on the onwards running Palette. I'm quite surprised Palette did not try to use his flash here.
Ooh, Meliodas, he's here.
E6.
Teleport's coming in. Oh, Meliodas, he's beaten.
Oh!
There are beads all over his shirt. Oh, Meliodas. And now Palette may also pay the iron price, but no, not quite enough damage.
That was
Oh,
super well played
no.
from Celebrity.
That it was.
I mean, Meliodas didn't play it perfectly either, but yeah, this was a very good reaction from Celebrity. He immediately ulted the Lee Sin. Lee Sin was just sitting there, nothing really to do because he was stunned. Nicely done, and the first kill goes over to Loki, even though they got ganked, repeatedly even, in the bot lane. They'll even get the first plating in the bot lane, so complete turnaround from the earlier DBL games, or last week's DBL games, I should say, and Loki gets the first advantage in the bot lane. The one lane that was the shining light for DBL.
And that's especially bad considering it's a Varus Tahm Kench lane.
Yeah.
That's not even the lane you really want. I mean, obviously you want to win it, but you're not relying on winning bot lane if you pick the Varus Tahm Kench. That was super well played by Celebrity.
I mean, Meliodas had to flash here. I think he had to flash ult immediately. Those are actually more of a mistake from Meliodas' side. It's still a short skill shot from Celebrity, but he only had to press one button, so I was praising him a little bit too much there, I think. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong, but Meliodas should have just flash ulted immediately and tried to force the fight more quickly, because, yeah.
Yeah. But they do get the consolation prize of the Mountain Drake. It's been too long, VCS. Missed the VCS Drake. So I'm glad we're starting off on the right note. But still, it is a 1.5-ish K gold lead. So a nice start here for Loki. See if they can keep it going.
Yeah, even though we have a gold lead early on, now there's a big advantage in the bot lane. Now, I wanted to say bot lane actually is in an item disadvantage, but now he finished the Blade of the Rune King, so this is now actually the big advantage in the bot lane. Blade of the Rune King, a very strong first item on the Varus. As we experience some stream lags, this is on the main stream. Sorry for the viewers, but yeah, we can't really do anything about that.
Sorry about that. If we both have lag, that actually means it's coming straight out of Vietnam. So only so much we do. Hardy taking a lot of damage here. Rezo potentially stopping the play dead before it was live. Just by getting really good damage onto Hardy. Rezo playing this one well. Obviously, he died early, but that wasn't really his fault. And he's actually considerably up in CS now.
Yeah, I think
he's doing really well.
Yeah, Hani is not playing this matchup too well, in my opinion. He constantly pushes in the Aatrox. I don't like his item choice either. I know the heal reduction is a crucial item against Aatrox, but I still think it's not good as a delaying your very important first item spike. And look at this. Hani has to flash away. This is a problem. A big problem. Now he goes down to Meliodas. Every day, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry,
okay.
My computer freaked out for a second.
That's unfortunate.
As the gank is coming in, though, Artifact gets them up against the wall. Supreme display of talent. DNK is almost going down. Rezo really wants this kill, but he will burn down. 2 kills for Kiana. Sorry for the action that I missed. A cord fell out of my computer.
Yeah, I mean, Artifact didn't really want to use his Ignite there. You could see he was very reluctant to press his Ignite button there. In the end, he didn't want his jungler to fall down, so he just pressed Ignite, and we went down to the Ignite. And 2 kills for Loki, even though they botched the first engage there, especially Hani with very strange attempts. A little bit too aggressive there. But it's only a kill for Meliodas in trade for 2 kills on the Kiana. You always take the kills on the Kiana.
Absolutely. Got to get that assassin ahead so she can take massive control of this game. So this was what was missed. Hani taking so much damage there. Rezo trying to scavenge something. Meliodas flashing in.
This time.
Easy kill on Hani.
Yeah, this time he
And
does everything right. Flash, ult, Q. Nothing to do there for Hani. He already invested his flash, but now a little bit of an overstay
it
even for
comes.
DBL. I think they wanted to get the kill on DNK. A little bit too aggressive, and Artifact is here first. Not the greatest communication coming in from DBL's side. They should have known that Artifact was on his way towards the top lane. Did not look at the minimap. Did you take a look at the minimap there? Was
Uh,
LeBlanc moving as well?
Unfortunately, I did not look.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
should
LeBlanc
have.
was close.
No, they were. She was definitely quite far behind. If she was on the move, regardless, it should have been called that they needed to get away because the Kiana burst was going to be way more than enough. Now, Artifact on the move again, down towards this bot lane. Paulette currently by himself, will be joined by Big Coro momentarily. But Artifact is having a sniff. Paulette goes in with the flash. Celebrity gobbled up by a Tom Kench.
Uh-oh.
Now he's thrown out. And here is Kiana. Celebrity gets the first kill. Varusol
Oh!
is used. Big Coro, you're in trouble, mate. You're in big trouble, I should say. And down he goes, head cut off by the hula hoop. And it is another kill for Kiana. She's
Wait,
having an absolute banger of a game.
how
Now
did he
she's got to
miss
get out.
her? That was
She's
such
got
a
delayed.
weird. Wow, that vision
That
toggle
was
was
strange.
super strange. How did he
That was
not
very,
see the
very.
Kiana go? Wow, super fortunate for Artifact there. I think he should have died. I think he dies anyway. Okay, that was silly.
Unfortunately, yep. Unfortunately, I'm just having a bit more tech issues. So just give me a moment.
Yes, we see the bot
I do
lane turret.
apologize to everyone. I'm in the middle of moving, so I'm on a bit of a ghetto setup. Just doing my best.
Yeah. In the
But anyway,
meantime,
I'm back.
so we look at it. We were sitting at a 4K ulti for Loki at 15 minutes. This is gigantic. Bot lane turret has already gone down. 2 kills to celebrities working on the second item, while Bikura is still in the process of stacking up his tier. So he should. Yeah, he even went for the additional longsword, which means he has not enough stacks to get the Q transformation. That's a really bad sign. He wanted to get the Q transformation right now. This is why we invested more gold into the longsword. Longsword. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Artifact just gets taken out. Well played by Nor there. That's a good bit of gold in his pocket. But now we go back to live, and Rezo may not be
Wait.
live much longer, and he's not. Down he goes.
Now you're ahead of me.
Oh, great. Nice. I'll pause it at
No.
16:10.
Let me quickly go back to live.
Can't wait to have actual internet.
It's 16:22 now.
Okay, you're like 2 seconds ahead of me.
Okay, 1, 2. Okay, we should be back together.
Sorry about that, everyone. Again, very soon. This won't happen anymore. Very, very soon.
We can all be hyped for that.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm going to start streaming again. Get hyped. Come watch some classic WoW, guys. But up here in the top lane, it is the push for Loki, and there is no way to contest it. Artifact in the mid lane, really not able to get the better of Null here. Null is dominating this 1v1.
Yeah, as I said in the draft or in the draft discussion, there is no way for Kiana to win this mid lane against LeBlanc. She has some kill pressure if LeBlanc oversteps, but yeah, she's a very safe champion, and trading patterns are very much in favor of the LeBlanc. So even though Kiana is sitting at 4 and 1 and 2 and almost 2 completed lethality items, the 1v1 is still a struggle. They might even... another engage.
Varus. Very strange Varusol there. Not sure what's going on, but Celebrity just explodes in an instant. He is splattered all over the rift, and his fishy friend will join him. Paulette picks that one up. The bear gets a delicious meal.
Whew!
But here comes Artifact, cuts out the bear's head. He'll be having that rug for himself. There's 2 for 1 overall. Do DBL make the play onto Artifact? Goes into the stealth field, but he can be seen.
Meliodas has to be careful here.
He does, but the flash is down for Artifact, so this would be incredibly risky to go in. He's got no support coming. Rezo in the mid lane gets aggressed on there by DNK, but in the end, they will just summon the Rift Herald.
Now, this is a high tempo game, a lot of action in all the lanes. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Hani is already working on the second tier turret, and in mid lane at the same time, Loki working on the first turret. So DBL has to respond to a lot of stuff happening at the same time, and they're not able to lose the bot tier 2 turret, and will lose the mid tier 1 turret as well, but maybe.
Ooh, Celebrity's in a lot of trouble. Can he get eaten up? He doesn't need to so far. The first kill has happened.
Oh
Razor is
no!
down. Supreme display of talent. Used so well there to peel for Celebrity as well as set up a kill. Really well done out of Artifact. He pushes forward in that stealth field, but can't find anything more. And it keeps going the way of Loki.
Yeah, more and more so. Now 6k gold lead, and even Hani is ahead now after a very hard early game for him against Razor. And man, what a great game from Artifact. Venus even missed his gobble there on the Varus, if I saw that one correctly. And Artifact covered for his ADC, slammed the enemy ADC into the wall, got 2 kills immediately, and Varus stayed alive.
Yeah, it was. I hope we see a replay on that because that was a really, really good defensive ult.
Yeah.
That like Artifact used that ult defensively to protect his ADC, but he was able to angle it so it was a defensive ult that also did heaps of damage
and stunned Bikoro.
Yeah, exactly. Which is pretty much exactly what you want. So yeah, keep your eyes on Artifact here, and that looked like a missed gobble.
Yeah, I think so.
And there it is.
Boom.
Bang. Keeps Celebrity alive, kills Big Coro, and knocked away Paulette just enough so that he could be secured as well. Very well done, Loki.
This champ deals way too much damage. This is not legal.
Yeah, no, look, she's just got such a practical weapon. Hani is in a lot of trouble. He's got a lot of friends coming. Uses the hook shot, but I think that will be it. Surprised he even bothers to commit his ult. But Big Coro will pick him up. But on the other side of the rift, someone else is in threat of dying, and it's the big purple worm himself. And the Supreme Display of Talent comes out.
Meliodas! Meliodas, there's an objective.
Meliodas, you can't fight
My
that.
God.
And you need to be worrying about the other one. Meliodas, you are a jungler. Worry about the monsters.
Are you serious?
He got blood in his nose.
I guess so.
He's a piranha.
He just turned away from Baron, like, oh, no, I don't care about Baron. Take the Baron. I want Artifact. In the end, he doesn't even get Artifact, and the Baron goes over to Loki. This should be the final nail on the coffin for this game, I think. Game 1 looking more and more like Loki will close out the game the next few minutes. Usually a very good team about closing games, so don't expect them to do too many silly mistakes. That's more DBL style.
Yep. And having a look at DBL, it is a pretty dismal sight just looking at the scoreboard, with the exception of Null. He's actually done pretty well, even though his opposite number is having an absolute banger of a game. He's actually only 500 gold behind, just due to the strength of the matchup. Rezo, I actually don't think Rezo has played badly. He's just been bullied. He is 0-4 much because of... as Artifact goes in. Oh, that was sick. He got damage on both sides of the wall there. Goes down, though, unfortunately. So it's a 1-for-1, actually in favour of DBL for now. But Hani is pushing in the bot lane. Is in a 1v1 with Razor that he has to back off from. But the mid lane siege will now continue. Damage goes forward.
Yeah, they can't really do a whole lot against them in the mid lane. So mid lane inhib should be the price here. Maybe only the turret, because Venus drops very low now, and DNK is in danger of dying as well. Yeah, they forgot about Artifact. DBL, please, look at the map, DBL. What are you doing?
What are they doing? They just lose a second inhib turret for no reason. They said Paulette to stop Hani.
Oh, what's going on with DBL's map and objective reads? That's not looking too crisp here in the first game. Maybe that's the reason Johar was playing. I'm not sure.
maybe they took Gum's tactic of putting tape over the bottom half of the minimap. Maybe they just took it to the next level and just blocked out the minimap.
True. But yeah, I think we can already look ahead a little bit. This is a series, so a best of 5 obviously here. What needs to change for
For it.
DBL? I don't think this replay
Uh,
is too interesting. I mean, flash in from Volibear.
yeah, it was actually a really good ult from Artifact. I
Yeah.
just want to point that out. He
He
got
just
that
got
question
caught by
first.
too many members from the side. He did not expect to be collapsed on by 3.
Yep. Looking ahead, I don't necessarily think any specific pick needs to change.
No,
I
you
actually
don't think
don't think
so?
DBL's draft.
I think the bot lane
I mean,
picks need to change.
I think the volley ban needs to
And
change,
Kai'Sa
but I
as
think
well.
we comment. Really, I
I
don't.
think Kai'Sa has been such a trap pick in the VCS playoffs.
I agree with that.
Slater went with
But who would
Kai'Sa in
you have
all the
picked
games
instead?
and looked terrible on
Who would
her.
you have picked instead?
You
Considering
could have.
Zyra and Kate were.
Zaya and Kate were removed, that's fair. I think you can. Into Varus, maybe Lucian would have been a better choice. It's not the easiest matchup. At least it does not hard lose lane.
Yeah, but I don't think Kaiser's meant to hard lose lane either. Like, remember, I think part of the reason this Kaiser's looks so bad is that failgate from
That's true.
Meliodas.
That's true. I still think you,
And
you need to put like Big Her on a big carry and very strong
I
early game
agree with that.
champion. I like him on
Yeah,
the
I
Xayah a lot,
definitely.
and I think they had the opportunity to pick Xayah in the first round, right?
They thought about it. Oh, and in goes Meliodas trying to make a play. Does manage to get that safeguard out, but takes a lot of health for basically no reason. And this will be the final in him turret going down as we look at what's going on now instead of next game, just for a moment, because this is a little bit of a formality. The
Yeah, and
Nexus does still need to fall, but this game, oh, the
oof.
tiniest little display of talent. Nice and tight as down goes Null. He will fall.
Yeah, now the second inhibitor is down. Third one is already under fire or under
Yeah, that'll go down
whatever
momentarily
the
because no one from
weapons.
DBL to check.
Yeah,
Minimap?
Venus will just die, but it doesn't matter because they got the third inhibitors. Oh, the flank is set up. They want to fight now. They want to get back into the game right now.
This is
Um,
dangerous.
ooh, celebrity on a little bit of a secret
This
mission
is
here.
good. No, he's the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just letting him die. Everyone else gets out now. I think that was the right call.
Yeah,
One of
there's
them had to
nothing
go.
on the map to get for DBL. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Baron is not
What did
up.
they get? A Cloud Drake? Ooh.
Yay.
I don't know if I agree with sticking around for this blue buff. That was really risky, but they're not going to get punished.
So what are the next steps for Loki? They can just reset and try to all go into the enemy base and just finish the game, or they go with a safe route, wait for Baron, which will respawn in around 1 minute, 40 seconds. So
Yep.
go Baron, then still all push into the enemy base and use the insane amounts of the super minions that are buffing up each other to just brute force the victory. That's probably the call here. Why are you going towards dragon? You don't need this dragon. This is something VCS teams still need to learn. I think just ignore unimportant objectives. We saw the most egregious
Yep.
dragon take was from Optimus. When he took the dragon, the enemy team was sitting on 5 elemental drakes, and he took the 6th.
Gave them an
Actually,
Elder
yeah, gave
Drake.
them an elder drake. So this is something the VCS coaches, especially and analysts, need to work on because
Yeah.
what is this Cloud Drake doing for you? You don't want to get the dragon count high in this game. You want to finish this game in the next few minutes. You don't need the Cloud
Yep.
Drake.
All you do is potentially give DBL something better to take.
Yeah, right.
As Barrett is getting absolutely pummeled. This should be the last stand of DBL. As they go in well, actually, getting that flip and the missed Varus ult. Things are actually going a little bit wrong here, but the gold lead will persevere. Artifact picks up one. Down goes Null. DNK doing so much in the backline there. That's a double kill for Hardy. And that will be it.
Yeah, there we
DBL
are.
is aced. The game will end. And game one of this series will be picked up by Loki.
In very convincing fashion. We were predicting something like 3-0, maybe 3-1 for Loki, and I think the first game showed us why a lot of people were predicting Loki to win. They looked like the much stronger team. Very good early game rotations. I think their closing was a little bit iffy, but in the end they still got over it at 28 minutes, so still everything fine for them. No real opportunity for DBL to get back into the game. Hani was struggling a little bit, but not enough for DBL to maybe look at that as a win condition, especially with Razor as your top laner. So yeah, just overall a very good start to the series. I think Loki can be very confident, and their first win in playoffs.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, as they lost
I mean,
0-3 to
they
Gum.
yeah, I mean they did something a little bit silly by poking the bear on social media, and they may have annoyed Gum a little bit, but regardless, they're looking pretty favourable in this one, so hopefully they can redeem themselves. We'll have to look forward to game 2, but we do have to decide an MVP for game 1. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think this game is definitely Artifact.
Yeah.
I think credit to the bot lane as well, especially to Celebrity. He had great Varus ults, very good awareness of where to go, where to position in the bot lane. Did only die once in lane, which is insane considering there was everything aimed at him. So
Yeah.
yeah, great job.
I actually think that was pretty good Tom Kench play out of Vedas as well.
The
I think
gobble
he
on the mid
actually
lane, not too great, but yeah, I agree.
yeah, that's true. But I think a lot of the time he did actually get the gobbles down quickly, which, I mean, it's not too hard. It is just one button. But still, it's a very important button. But we will be back soon for game 2 of this gauntlet game. I don't know what we're calling these.
I'll
Lower
call it
bracket.
elimination match because that's what
Yeah,
the
elimination match.
yeah. Because if you lose, you're eliminated. So you fight
Yeah,
against elimination here. First game over to Loki, and we'll be back in 7 minutes to see if Loki can continue their onslaught or if DBL gets back on track. Maybe with a better bot lane draft, maybe with something more stable, more scaling in the mid lane. That's what I want to look at for DBL here.
absolutely. G'day everybody, welcome back for game 2 here of Low Key taking on the Dashing Buffalo. We are going to see if that Buffalo can in fact dash, because they're down 1-0 at the moment, and it was pretty convincing. Do you reckon they can run us back into this one, or are we just going to have Low Key drag themselves into the next round?
Yeah, sadly, I think this might just be a quick 3-0 today. A little bit sad to think about that. The first game we get back to cast here, and it will be a very one-sided series. Maybe DBL can surprise us. I think it has to start with a pick and ban phase. Drop the volley beer, please. Dear God, drop the volley beer.
Yep. Do you think they will? Do you think they should prioritize the Aatrox?
It's such a hard call for me.
I don't think Razor. I don't think it was his fault.
No.
He was like 0-5 or something at the end of that game, which is obviously bad. But I actually couldn't point to any time he made a glaring mistake. He just got bullied.
I think there are two key things about the draft for DBL. Don't pick Lee Sin for Meliodas, not because he's awful on it, but because they need some better skirmishing team fighting champion, in my opinion. Lee Sin is too much. Everything revolves around the Lee Sin, right? It's more like if Lee Sin gets ahead, Lee Sin can carry the game, but he can't really rely on other players. And I'd like to see them rely on the big horror, maybe rely on Null as well. He showed a great game 1, so I'd actually like to see them go with a more facilitating jungler, maybe something like Sejuani. She's still super strong. J4, yep. Meliodas is a very good J4 player, most played champ for him as well. So yeah, I'd like to see a facilitator in the jungle, a strong laning bot lane, because they have stomped some bot lanes here, and I think they are capable of doing the same to Celebrity and Venus.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, Razor Aatrox, in my opinion, is a good call. Maybe they're on red side and can't prioritize the Aatrox anymore. Neither top laner really can hard carry a game, in my opinion. Razor and Hani are...
That's the thing. I don't think you need to prioritize top side. That's kind of what I was getting at. I think you should prioritize your bot lane.
Yeah, maybe that's a good call.
Get Caitlyn Morgana, something like that. Let Big Coro actually put the pants on, and just give Razor his cannon. Dude loves that champ.
Please don't.
I know that hurts you to hear me say, but...
Give him a tank. Okay. Just give him a tank.
Give him Vlad.
I mean, okay. I'm okay with Vlad. I'm not too happy with Cannon, I have to say. They are back on blue side, so Dashing Buffalo had the lower seed, so I suppose they chose blue side here in game 2. Want to run it back. They could try to get the Xayah ban or pick here. It was available to them, and they didn't go for the Xayah, so I think that should be the #1 priority in this second draft.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think you definitely don't first pick it, because I think if Low Key was to take Xayah Khan, you can answer with Caitlyn Morgana and be pretty happy.
Yeah.
There is the Kiana ban, instant change from game 1. Not surprising. Don't want to let Artifact bring out that avatar state again. But otherwise, ban's looking very similar to game 1.
What do we want to see from Artifact other than Kiana? He played Swain, Silas, Kiana in the first series. Obviously, he's played Irelia a lot, so maybe Irelia or Syndra are other fallback options for Artifact. I like him on playmaking champs a lot.
Irelia open last game, just not picked or banned, and Silas being removed as well. They don't want to give DNK that one again. So, adaptation from Coach Ren for the Dashing Buffalo.
To the point in the chat, Ren sucks at pick and ban. I actually think a lot of coaches in the VCS suck at pick and ban.
I think the VCS suck at ban, so maybe he's actually just great.
I think Dashing Buffalo has been one of the best teams when it comes to adaptation to matters earlier than all the other teams. Yep. They were the first on on many patches. They were the first to pick up. I can't pinpoint the champ, but yeah, they actually had. They played Sonateric, for example.
No one else did.
Yeah. Overall, I like the plan.
Ragus has escaped the ban list and has been locked in by Low Key. They have DBL has prioritized this Aatrox again. I actually just disagree with it. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I still think it's fine. It's the strongest blind pick top laner, and especially after seeing that the Hani is not able to hard smash top lane with Camille, which is considered a counter pick. I think you're pretty free to pick up Aatrox again. From ahead, Aatrox is super strong. Now they go for Xayah, and they can go Xayah Khan here, and there's only one champ. Yeah, this is a very good adaptation. I wanted to see this in the first game already. I think this is a much better draft from Dashing Buffalo. Caitlyn or
This has
Morgana,
been very.
they can only pick up one.
Well, I mean, can you? I don't know if you can pick the Caitlyn and then have the Morgana banned. I think you're in a lot of trouble against Rakan if that ends up happening.
You can still go Caitlyn Leona.
I think, yeah, I like picking up the Morgana here because if they ban the Caitlyn, you can just pick a Draven.
Can Celebrity play Draven?
That's the eternal question. We never know if these ADCs can bring out the man himself, the most attractive man in League of Legends, Draven. But it's going to be interesting because I think that is a real pick. I think DBL does have to just got to ban. Just do it. Yeah, there we go.
Caitlyn banned, as we predicted. No Caitlyn Morgana available here, so that was probably what Dashing Buffalo decided on before even picking up Xayah and Rakan. Very obvious ban here. What will be the second ban? What other ADC could cause some problems? Maybe Lucian? I mean, they have the same read as I had, right? They banned out the two facilitating junglers.
Yep.
Maybe forcing Meliodas back on the Lee Sin, maybe on something like Silas. Is he open? No, he's banned, so yeah.
Ooh, and they banned the Draven. How good is our read?
Yeah, we are on top of our game today.
Just saying VCS. Maybe, look, if you don't want us as casters, I'm offended, but okay. But maybe we can coach for them.
Yeah, I think so
any
too.
worse, right? Don't even speak Vietnamese, and I'll probably do fine. But it is.
Just tell them the names of the champions they have to pick.
I'll just draw a picture of the champion. Pick this one. And it is Varus that will be picked up for Celebrity with the Caitlyn.
Oh no.
And, he's kind of pushed to this, though, with the two facilitating junglers taken out. Meliodas. He picks the Lee Sin. He could have gone something like Rek'Sai.
He used the Lee Sin into Morgana.
It's a little bit stinky.
It's very stinky.
It's going to be a tricky one. And it might be Null picking up the LeBlanc again. He actually looked good. He was very much the bright spot for DBL in Game 1. So happy to see that part of the draft repeated. But
don't quite understand why they don't want to go for Zoe. She was perma-banned in the first series of the Dashing Buffalo, and it's the best champ for Null.
Ooh, hello.
Ooh, Grago. Graguo?
Graguo.
Grago into LeBlanc and Lee Sin. Interesting. And LeBlanc can't really do a whole lot to avoid the Gragas Yasuo all-in at level 6, even though she's super mobile. If Gragas just lands his ult, she's dead.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's not that difficult to avoid LeBlanc all-ins as Yasuo. Windwall just kind of stops it.
Yeah,
the only thing that hits is W, and that doesn't really hurt. So,
and she has to aggressively trade with W, which is very, which makes her very susceptible to ganks, right? This is always the breaking point of LeBlanc matchups. Can you force her to use her escape aggressively? And if you can do so, can you then capitalize with the gank?
Yep, that is very much the case. And looking down at the bot lane, Xayah Rakan should win this lane, but I don't think it's going to be particularly hard. I don't think it's going to be a particularly hard win. Just probably a wave or so. I think Celebrity has shown that he's very capable on this Varus and is very safe with the Fallen Angel protecting it.
Not too sure if they actually win this matchup. I think they win early push, but especially level 6 is super dangerous for the Rakan. Wow, these predictions are some heavy inting. My God, what are they predicting here?
I feel like there is a lot of bias towards Buffalo as an organization.
I feel like they are obligated to pick different teams. There were some people predicting against Flash and Gum in the first round as well. And I was like, okay, you're not seriously predicting these results,
I
guys.
mean,
You're not.
I mean,
You're
if
not.
you like being wrong,
I mean, predicting Loki 1-3 DBL is very int. I
that's unbelievably bad. That's like, if you're a fair enough. If you're a DBL fan, you're allowed to think DBL's gonna win. But if you're an analyst and you're doing your job, come on, come on,
maybe they'll show us something more here in the second game.
maybe.
I like the draft approach a lot more. I don't like the second round. I have to say, Lee Sin, LeBlanc again for
I
mid lane
still leave
2v2.
in.
I'm also not the biggest fan of LeBlanc in this matter. She can work. She has very, very timid windows, very small opportunities to win the game. I think she falls off very quickly, and she needs to get ahead. So, yeah, not the greatest fan
The
of LeBlanc here.
the observation from an actual Riot employee in Discord chat. Should have just picked Garen jungle. Have more impact.
Probably true.
Getting
I have
play.
no idea if Garen actually can jungle. I suppose he
I
can.
mean, he could probably clear very slowly, but
He can
wouldn't
look at the
recommend
jungle
it.
creeps and no one deals damage to one another because he has his W and the jungle creeps. And yeah, I guess he has
Have
his E.
health.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Will we see
But
Yumi Garen today in LEC? What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised. I actually think it's been. I think again, bit of speculation. I think because of how showy it has been and how explosive it's been, I reckon it's been featuring in scrims a whole bunch. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I played it a little bit with my duo partner.
You did? Finally?
Yeah,
Nice. It's
yeah.
fun.
I played like five or six games on it when I was waiting to log into WoW, and it's so fun.
Yeah, it's very fun to play.
So I reckon it's been all over scrims, and teams are like, yeah, well, we can play this.
And
So I hope-
Fnatic has played it already, and you can be sure G2 has played it as well. So I'm
G2's played it.
I'm quite interested in the Yumi Garen priority. Overall, the match obviously probably the highlight of the day, even though there are some people saying LCK final is more interesting. I beg to differ. I think LCK final will just be another 3-0 as always. So come to LEC.
Griffin will never actually win the LCK.
Yeah, right.
Always be there to ruin their fun. Poor Griffin.
But we finally get into game.
We do.
Here. King J, by the way, one of the fan favorites. I see a lot of discussion about King J in Discord all the time. He has actually only played
apparently
one
he's got
game
quite a
all
bad-
season.
Apparently, he's got quite a bad injury. Ooh, Venus. What happened? First blood.
Yeah, perfect start here for DBL. This is exactly what they wanted to see happening here. Wow, early bot lane advantage. Another long sword now. Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing. He didn't even use his flash. What?
I mean, there was no point flashing. He was dead.
But was there not a point where he could have flashed away at any time? Where did he go?
I need a replay.
Oh my. Okay, I guess,
Oh, he
yeah,
just
there was no point in
did.
flashing. You're right.
Yeah, no, there's no flash. There's no flash that could save him there. He was ignited.
Why did he do that?
That was.
I mean, the chance of this happening is not too high. You have to be fair to him. It's not too often that we see both
but
bot
also,
lanes.
what do you get out of
Yeah,
going
right.
into that bush?
What-
Even if it's a 1% chance, what are you gaining?
Yeah, right. Why would you ever go there? That's the question we have to ask. Oh, wow. Palette. Oh, a very bad start for Loki's bot lane.
Oh,
They
this
messed
is
up
not good.
everything there.
Oh no, the exhaust has to come out as well. I think you're a second or so ahead of me, just by the way. So not great.
207.
Both in
8.
my tech is. Yeah, you're 3 seconds ahead of me.
Okay, let's stop at 15.
12, 13, 14, and 15.
Okay, nice.
right after we resynced. My stream freezes, so you might have to
Nice.
radio cast for a second while I actually fix it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot happening. We look at the bot lane, and it's still a big trouble for Loki. They are struggling with level 1 against level 2. Exhaust, as you touched on earlier, is already down for Venus. He's skilled E on level 1, which is a very bad sign
That's
already.
bad.
If you ever have
That's
a Morgana skill the E on level 1, you know it's a very bad time in lane. But DNK is looking for an early lane gank for Hani here in the top lane. It's very much pushed. Yeah, they want to reset the wave. Oh, but the next wave is coming in, so Ray's in a very comfortable position here. I don't think there's a real gank opportunity. They can't dive this early on. Level 3 on all the participating champs here. So, don't really see this gank succeeding until he stays forever. No. Wow, what is he doing?
Yeah, DNK is still here.
Excuse me? What was that?
That was interesting.
Okay, DNK is very aggressive. And he got what he came for, the soul.
Yeah, exactly. Dark Harvest Kragus. Gotta love it.
Once again, it's his favorite.
Hani taking a lot. He's ignited. He's burning. Has to use the flash to dodge the Q. And
is he alive?
Just barely survives. He's just barely alive. Ooh, Null throws himself in. That W would have... Oh, Meliodas! He's got the sniper. He's been drinking his Mountain Dew and chomping on his Doritos because he just quick-scoped him out of the map.
And this is a very good early start for DBL. 2 kills on different side of the map. The bot lane is still in a lot of trouble for Loki. A typical DBL strat, actually. Get the bot lane ahead and then never come back to the bot lane and focus on other lanes. And it's working this game. 15 CS, almost the lead at 4 minutes for the bot lane. And top lane now ahead as well, or maybe jungle, I should say, especially looking at the CS as well. 12 CS advantage and a kill now for Meliodas.
Yeah, very. This is basically the dream start here for DBL, and Meliodas wants to put any doubt about his Lee Sin definitely to bed with another lane gank, but Razor just runs on forward to hit that sweet spot. So that's not going to happen. Ooh, no. Melly can't make his mind up. And here he comes. They're going in. What can they get onto Hani here? He is juking around as much as he can.
A lot of minions.
Trying to use that Conqueror heal. Does really well with that stun there, but it's not going to matter in the end. And Meliodas, he is not smelly Melly this game. He is clean, he is slick, and he is 2-0.
Yeah, what a turnaround. He was confident enough to take Lee Sin another game, even though his first game did not look too great. To be fair, other players were a little bit worse than him, so it was not really on him, the loss, that is, for DBL. Yeah. So he's confident enough to take the Lee Sin again, and they hard-focus top lane, an interesting adaptation. We have not seen too much from DBL in the last few weeks, especially with Razor's performance dipping down.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, Razor is actually not particularly far ahead. He's only 100 gold up despite this. And there is the Yasuo ult on Null, just being used off a tornado. DNK in the wings. Will they try and find more? Exhaust comes out. This is actually an exhaust Yasuo, something we didn't comment on.
I think it's very common into LeBlanc.
It makes sense. Still worth commenting on, but even more worth commenting on is the big old corpse of DNK there in the mid lane was caught out by Palette's roam.
What is Loki doing? So many over-aggressive and unnecessary plays here in the early game. Why did they go for this very ill-advised dive after Yasuo has burnt his ult already? No ult for DNK, but no flash even for DNK. What was supposed to happen there?
I don't understand.
It's panic mode, it seems like. But why?
What was the exhaust going to do? It's like slow them down, but you still are never going to catch it.
Yeah, look at this again.
Make a lot of sense.
DNK
well done by
Palette
getting that knocked up. Yep.
Good flash W.
Artifact. Yep. Artifact walks away knowing the other half of the Grago is gone.
And now a kill to Null, even though he lost the lane to Artifact. Artifact got to level 6 earlier, and now Artifact can be very angry with his jungler. because he hinted away one kill to the enemy mid laner, who's now ahead in gold.
Well, I mean, he can be angry, but also like that exhaust, that play was awful, and it looked
Yeah,
like it
the
was
whole
called
play
by
was.
Artifact
Yeah, that's
based
true.
on who was going forward.
That's true.
Like, really, the exhaust is a defensive tool against LeBlanc. That's why you take it. You exhaust her when she comes in to try and burst you, and you turn it on her. You don't just randomly exhaust her for the slow when you don't have ult.
Yeah, especially when your Gragas does not have his flash available. I mean, it could work out if Gragas can flash E onto the LeBlanc after you slowed her down with the exhaust. Then I can see the play working, but without the flash, yeah.
Rezo lurking around the mid lane.
He's spotted though.
Yep.
I think he was
He
spotted,
is.
right?
Yeah. I'm not actually sure. I think he might have
Now he's
dashed
spotted.
over the Baron.
Yeah, I think so.
He's definitely spotted.
We got some weird vision toggles there. I thought he was spotted, but he actually is only spotted now. Wazer is struggling a little bit in the 1v1 matchup, especially once again with the wave management, which we have seen as a reoccurring problem for Razo. If you want to go back to some of the highlights of the summer split, look at the 5-minute clip and learn about some lane states. The most tilting play of the summer season.
I still think but one's just that general game.
The game overall was a tilter, especially top lane play from both sides.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
A 2k gold lead at 8 minutes now, 9 minutes I should say, so complete turnaround from game 1. This time DBL is sitting, wow, as we see a little bit of a slideshow happening. The PowerPoint presentation.
Not great at all. Hopefully we will get through the business meeting as soon as possible. The VCS casters have got their little pointing sticks out saying Q3 looking very good for DBL. The profits are way up.
Q2, no?
And true, Q2. But
yeah, let's hope it gets better and not try to focus too much on the action right now, because it gives me a headache to look at this game right now.
It's not the best, but it will be a Mountain Drake fairly easily secured for DBL. No real contest there, and I think something I at least comment on a lot, because I have about 3 pieces of actual analysis that I can bring out. So whenever I can bring them out, I always do. You can really judge how well Gragas Yasuo is doing. If they give up the first dragon like that, it's not doing well.
That's a fair point. Very simple, very fair, good point.
You want to fight around first dragon with Gragas Yasuo. It's super strong. So if they give it up like that, it's not working. And
the Gragas Yasuo ult combination is finally there, so they might still look, and flash for DNK as well. So very important, as we just see DNK clear out vision, that Null has established a lot of vision here, has a lot of information on the enemy jungler, so you can play safe against the Gragas Yasuo, not fall prey to their very strong combination.
Yep.
So good vision established there from DBL. I'm not too sure, I didn't track who placed the vision, but I suppose it's mostly Palette and probably Meliodas. So good work for them, good coordination, and setting up their mid laner to succeed here.
Yep, absolutely it should be. And down in the bot lane, the bad start has only translated into a worse CS differential with Big Coro very far ahead.
But he did not get too many platings this time.
It's true. He only got 1 plating. The cull will help the celebrity once that does pop. Oh, and in the mid lane, Artifact uses the ult, manages to wind wall the Lee Sin, is ignited. Null goes down there to DNK as the teleport comes in. The top laners have a rise. DNK taking so much damage. Rizal picked that one up. Artifact running for his life, but you can't run directly out of the infernal chains. Aatrox has been meta for 10 years. How do you not know it? Rizo gets the triple kill. Come on, son.
What happened in the pause to Loki players?
Celebrity's gonna die. He's gonna pick one up. Big Coro, though, he's going down low. Venus wants to avenge his ADC. Brings out the Soul Shackle. Says, if you take my ADC, you're going with him.
Oh, man. Full chaos all over the map. And that mid lane play, as you said, as you rightfully pointed out, that was atrocious. I
can't,
thought
like,
Loki won this fight, but then Aatrox just ran over them on level 9 or something with no kills to his name. Now he has 3, obviously, but he had no coming into the fight. They just completely misplayed everything about the Aatrox. Artifact did not even use his
why are you
flash.
even ulting there? Like,
I think this was quite nicely played from Artifact. As you can see, DNK has the damage to finish this one off. It's a 3v2 here, and they still lose it as Razor and a very good coordination with Meliodas and Razor getting the first kill.
oh,
Hani
and
does
as we
not.
go back to live, North's in a lot of trouble here. Meliodas will go down. That's a kill for Harney. He needs that one. He was 0-3 before that one, but North will strut away.
At least one kill back to Hani, and Hani is struggling a little bit now with the 3-0 Razor on the other side, but it's still a matchup he should win in the end. With Aurelia into Aatrox, it's much more in Aurelia's favor, especially with Conqueror into Conqueror. We talked about the rock, paper, scissors rune choice, and this time Razor hard lost the rock, paper, scissors, because Conqueror into Conqueror against Aurelia is not a great choice for the Aatrox.
Mm-hmm. So, fun fact about rock, paper, scissors, we hit a bit of a lull state. There is scientific evidence that if you insult someone right before you play them in rock, paper, scissors, they'll throw scissors most of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I heard something about the first symbol or whatever the first thing a man most of the time this is a stone or a rock, yeah. So
Typically, it's rock.
it's a rock.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like studies and stuff that have been done on rock, paper, scissors. And it's
Imagine
like,
studying rock,
might,
paper, scissors probabilities.
I mean, you know, there's a world
what are you doing with your life?
You know, there's like rock, paper, scissors world championship.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. Like, that's actually a thing. I don't know how you choose who gets to go, because surely you just win roughly 1 in 3 times. Oh, DNK, speaking of 1 and 3, I think that might be his score very soon. Oh, no, damn it. That would have been really funny. But no, he does manage
That
to
was a
snipe it now.
super great casting transition.
There's the ult. Paulette is bound up, and actually it is going to be Celebrity picking up the kill. DNK will go down, so my joke still stands. As they're trying to fight that. Big Koro throws himself forward, but the angle is bad.
Oh,
Null
no.
gets knocked up here. Artifact, why did you dash forward, champ? You just didn't have to. Razor's here. Can they limp away? They can. Will they try and get anything more low-key?
Oh, Celebrity is aggressive
they're
here.
going to let them get away.
Null on very low mana, so he can't continue with the fight. And Razor does not get anything. Hani tried to come down as well. If he stayed top lane, he could have caught up to Razor in terms of gold and experience. Sadly for them, they thought he was necessary to the fight. So in the end, Hani's still behind. But another fight victory for Loki, and they come back into the game. It's only 1k gold now, the difference. Yep. And a lot of that on Razor. So the fighting around bot lane without Razor there is actually advantageous for Loki, especially if they get the first jump. Big Crow tries his damnedest to get everything here, but slightly misjudges the feathers. Probably.
That was really good by Artifact. I didn't spot that the first time.
Artifact looks clean on the Yasuo, I have to say. His mechanics look very good.
He used the tornado to interrupt the Q that would have killed him. That was really well done. So, low-key, potentially catching themselves back up into this game. They have shrunk the gold lead a little bit. It's only 2k now.
Yeah, but the first turret will now get them back to 2k, secured for the bot lane. Nicely done. Finally for DBL. Yep.
And the top lane tower actually under a bit of threat as well. Shelly was dropped up there, which DBL did pick up at some point. I'm actually not sure when they did that, but it wasn't a particularly important objective. It was pretty late.
Look at this brush. This is a very well-warded brush. No one can enter this one.
That is a scary brush. You don't want to mess with that brush. But mid lane tower goes down in favor of low-key. That's a big one. They will trade it for top lane turret, but mid lane is very important for opening up the map. Just opens up a lot of roam pass, that sort of thing. So Loki will be very happy with that one. Ooh, Big Koro wants to make a play, has got the ult on top of Celebrity, and look at the damage coming out from both of them. In the end, it's Venus that gets that kill, manages to get away as well. Can they hunt down onto Paulette? The ult comes out, but it's just a party barrel watering the grass of the rift in the end.
I did not tell you, but he actually radiocasted there because I experienced some technical difficulties. But I think we got a good picture of what happened there. And in the end, Big Kuro and Celebrity traded their lives. DNK missed his ult, as sadly now it seems like my internet does not want to let us stream today.
Ah, lovely, lovely.
Lovely, indeed. Let's see if we at least can hold out the second game before I have to reset the stream, which would be nice. Seems
that
to
would
have
be good. Ooh, Artifact trying to make a play here onto Null, but in the end,
it's still a 2k gold lead for DBL. And looking at the compositions, they need a lead. They have LeBlanc. LeBlanc will fall off comparatively. That being said, Yasuo not super great if he's not ahead, but he got 2 kills, so he's actually in an okay position.
Yasuo in the hyper late games actually just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
When he just one-shots. Just goes full anime protagonist.
Yeah, the kills in the right place for DBL. Maybe if 1-2 more kills on LeBlanc would be nice, but you have a very strong Aatrox. He's your late game insurance together with the Zarya. So I actually think the scaling is not too favorite for Loki. I think both teams scale quite well, especially with the crit against no crit AD carry in favor of DBL.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think having a fed Aatrox is a very scary prospect for Celebrity.
Especially in mid game.
Varus is a mobile squishy ADC. It's very hard to dodge those sweet spots, and Razor's going to rip you up. So definitely not what Celebrity wants to see. He might be a little bit mad at his team, saying, "Come on, man, you feed him, now I get absolutely murked." But he does have a Morgana to protect him, so that's always nice.
Yeah, so the first knock-up should never land, because you have Morgana in your backhand, right? You have Flash available as well. I actually think if Celebrity ever gets hit by a sweet spot here, it's pretty much the fault of either bot laner, and it should never happen in the team fights.
He gets hit by the damage. He might not get knocked up, but he still takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he still has a very easy peeling tool with his own ult, right? If he does not get knocked up, he has all the time in the world to use his own ult.
It's going to be a bit of a brawl. Oh, Venus, come on, you got to know the timing on that. Should have been hitting that binding, preventing Razor from coming in. There's the Yasuo ult to buy some time, but Nor gets that kill.
There was... Okay. Why is Meliodas here?
Meliodas? I mean, I think he gets away. Does Celebrity not know?
I think Celebrity's scared. Yeah, he's probably too scared to go there 1v1. But yeah, overextension from Artifact. I'm quite surprised DNK did not try to commit to the fight. I think they had an opportunity to start the fight on their terms. Then they pretty much squandered the opportunity there. I just want to know
what Venus was thinking with that binding.
Venus has not looked too great on this Morgana, even though it's one of his most played and favorite champs. Most played is not actually true. He's only played 3 times, but he's looked great on the Morgana before. This game, not so much. Early game blunder with running straight down.
That was befuddling.
Yeah. I really like Bikoro for his item builds. I talk about ADC itemization quite a lot, because I think ADCs in the VCS are quite some levels behind in terms of efficient itemization, but Bikoro is the best one.
It got so bad that we had a running joke about it that got used so often that I stopped doing it because it got old. So yeah, builds aren't great, but speaking of things getting old, Baron's not going to be, because he might be cut down in the prime of his life. It's down to 2,000 health now, 2,500. But here comes the turn. Harney will be going down immediately, but it turns back. The worm bites its own tail as it's a triple kill for the Yasuo. But now Raizo's mad. He wants to avenge his fallen teammates. He's looking for DNK. Null will take it from him. And this should be DBL picking up all these kills. Down goes Yasuo. Shut down. They won't get the Baron, but they'll get 4 kills.
The 500 heal casually on the auto attack there from the Reizo.
Yeah, totally fine.
That's Aatrox for you. Got nerfed, by the way. Yeah. Very interesting.
Losing his revive killed him as a champ. Don't you remember, guys?
Very interesting, very aggressive call from DBL to start the Baron there. And Loki was very reluctant to go for the contest. They did not want to go for the 50-50. I'm not sure if I agree with this choice. They could have just sent DNK over there to try to secure. I mean, it's against Lee Sin. Lee Sin has a very good combo with Smite and Q secure. Sadly.
That was a really good Gragas Yasuo combo.
Yeah, this was finally the Gragas Yasuo hitting everything. And immediately 3 kills for Artifact. In the meantime, though, Celebrity got picked on, so now it's Reizo against everyone, and Reizo has his ult available. He's still full life, and even though he gets stunned up here, look at all the healing. 400, 120, 119, 233, 369, and another 500 in the end, so he healed for more than his actual health bar. That's Aatrox for you.
Absolutely.
Really...
DNK is just dead.
Is he? Oh, he's not on my stream. That's interesting.
I might be a little bit ahead of you after your take. Oh, Paulette with the big play. It's not going to matter, but that was really nice. Null now on the hunt, has found Artifact, but won't be able to secure anything.
So it just went back to life, and DNK is dead. So I'm not sure what happened, but somehow he died.
He got found by Null. Null just murdered him.
And this will probably be the Baron now for DNK. DNK, DBL, I should say. Not a whole lot the enemy team can do, and it's a 5k gold lead for DBL this time. What happened to Loki in the second game? They look so much worse. So many over-aggressive, unnecessary plays for them. Especially in the early game.
Maybe they should have brought out the KFT comp.
I mean, it's still available, right? We are in a best of 5, so they still can go for the Swain, for the Demon comp, with the Brand in the bot lane.
I still think that Brand looked good.
That Brand was insane.
I think the Brand was sick. I actually think Swain's definitely playable on this map.
I mean, they played Swain seriously last week, so they agree with you.
I think that's definitely a thing to consider. He's an interesting pick. Definitely not top tier, but yeah, something to consider.
Yeah, he's an interesting pick into certain mid lane matchups. And I really hate that we don't see Artifact building towards healing reduction. I think he really needs his heal reduction here. It's not enough to only have Harney build the Executioner's Calling. You now have double crit on Yasuo, so he has some time to build this Executioner's Calling right now.
Yep.
And there we get to finally see DNK being bursted down. Okay. Null with a nice pick. DNK deals a lot of damage. He only landed one double E and got Null down to 2/3.
Yeah, maybe if he hit him a little bit harder, the Dark Harvest would have kicked in and gotten the kill. Who knows?
Oh, I like this one. DNK now finishing the Morellos. He has a lot of AoE damage, so getting Morello procs on Razor should be easy for him.
Ooh, look at that mechanics out of Artifact. That was slick.
Yeah, he was not able to use his ult there because he got stunned in exactly that moment. A little bit unfortunate for him.
It's also because it's on cooldown, but we'll ignore that
part. I did not pay any attention to that.
Oh, sorry, man. I completely put you up there.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
But you are right, though. He was stunned.
He was stunned, yeah, but his R was also not off cooldown, which is surprising because usually Yasuo ult is always available. That's why I didn't even consider this ult to be on cooldown.
Ooh, Artifact gets chunked, has the ult this time, and does pull the trigger. Null doesn't take much damage, though. The shielding came in. He's going to go down in the end, though, picked up by Venus, and now Meliodas escapes to the loving arms of Pallet. And in the end, it's a free kill.
Yeah,
Harney's
once again,
flushed
viewers,
away.
I'm very sorry for the issues here. I don't really know what's going on. Try to
It's a
refresh
day
whenever I
attack.
can, and I will reset the stream after the game, so we'll get a better experience in game 3. Bear with us, please. Here in the game 2, it's a little bit of a struggle. First on their side, now on our side. It's some technical difficulties plaguing us.
All right. Come finals, if your internet goes down, bang, I'll just put mine up.
Yeah, nice.
Easy. Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. But that is top lane tower being secured here for Loki. They're trying to claw their way back into this game. They're still very far behind. Wait, what happened here? Oh, apparently I missed that.
Yeah.
Meliodas got.
Meliodas
that happened
got
very
one
quickly.
shot.
So.
One shot by the Dark Harvest Gragas. I want to see how many stacks he got. I still don't quite understand why you would go Dark Harvest. I still think it's a little bit foolish to go Dark Harvest. You could just go for either of the two other.
I mean, if you're not going to make the level 3 play, Predator's not as good, right?
But Electrocute is still better.
Electrocute is still better, though. I don't know, maybe he thinks I mean, it's a pretty cool looking icon. Electrocute icon's kind of boring. It's just like a lightning bolt.
Are there plays on the late game where you never get Electrocute? That's probably what he's thinking. He wants the secure damage.
Gragas always gets it.
I think so too, right?
You double and then auto attack. You always get that Electrocute.
Yeah. I think it's not too hard on Gragas to get the Electrocute going. So, yeah. Still don't really understand this choice. Sorry?
It's what he likes,
yeah.
So can't fault him too much. I don't think it's a game changer, to be perfectly honest. But
and he looks good on it, so I guess just let him have his fun.
I mean, he's 2-5 this game.
2-5-8. Come on, it's a 2.0 KDA.
He's fine. It's true. He's doing just fine. I'm just giving him a bit of grief. But still, low-key is still at the bottom of a little bit of a well here, as they are 5k gold down. Baron has expired on DBL, so we are back to a little bit closer to parity.
Yeah, they didn't break the inhibitor line, so now more time for Loki to scale. 3 items already secured on Artifact. He went with an insanely aggressive build. I've never seen this heavy AD-focused Yasuo build, especially on 3 items. Usually you get to see Sterax or maybe even something like GA as the 3rd item this time.
Not going Sterax to this team is insane.
Yeah,
he gets the LeBlanc Lee Sin. Like, Sterax is pretty necessary, but he's just gone. I don't know if you watched LEC last night, but I learned from Froskuren, he's tipping the hat.
Yeah. Great phrase.
I thought that was interesting, milady. And has gone for that Bloodthirster. Baron is started up here for DBL. Loki needs to contest this one. If the second Baron goes down, they're in a lot of trouble. But DBL pulling off to grab the turtle, getting themselves a little bit of speed around the objective. Loki needs to find a way in here, but it's very scary because they've got to go through the big man Raizo. Ooh, Celebrity gets absolutely chunked, caught up. He goes down. DNK's in the pit, and he steals the Baron. He gets it away. Loki has Baron. They just need to retreat now. DNK goes down. It is 2 kills, but I think they'll take that pretty happily. Ooh, Artifact, you need to get out of dodge, son.
Okay. I think it has gotten too annoying. I'm very sorry, so I'll just reset the stream very quickly. We'll hear a little bit of radio cast for every day. Go ahead, and
sure thing.
We'll be back in a minute or so.
Despite the Baron steal, DBL will be pushing in to the top lane inhib of Loki. Nor throws himself over the wall, tries to get the chunk out onto Venus, is bound up and can't finish the kill, but so far nothing returned. Big Coro taking so much damage here from Harney. Another binding landing onto Nor. Mid lane inhib tower goes down. Null's clone picked up there. Raizo in the front line, in a lot of trouble. His team is retreating. He's been left behind. He's the sacrificial lamb. Comes out of the GA. Artifact throws himself forward, but can't get onto Palette. Rakan just a little bit too quick, but DBL is being forced to run. Down they go, but they did break the inhib line. They got that mid lane inhib. Ooh, Artifact nearly finds something else, but not quite.
Okay, I'm back, but
We are back.
I think you are probably... I'm not sure if you're ahead. I'm at 32-45.
Okay, you're ahead of me.
Okay, Loki's
I'm
pushing
at
in the inhibitor here and will be
Yep.
probably succeeding.
It's only a second or so we're okay. Mid lane inhib tower will go down. So it's actually an even trade overall. This is actually a little bit scary here. Mid lane inhib taken as well.
So now the first inhib actually goes over to Loki, which is an interesting turn of events.
Woo! Well, I mean, it comes down to that steal. Oh, here we go. In comes the Garagawo. This is why we have that pick. Hardy on the front line doing well as well, forcing out the quickness from Palette. Big Koro gets cleaned up. Reizo comes in. He's trying to do his best using that big demon boy, but it's not going to be enough. And Loki beats the odds, cuts the horns off the Buffalo and says, "You got an early game lead? Doesn't matter, mate. We're 1-0 up in Nexuses."
Oh man, what a sad game for DBL. After getting such a great early game, they throw it away with the Baron Steel from DNK, and also some mid-game decisions that did not really work out for them. And now it's 2-0 for Loki, and they got the worst possible start, so I can't really see DBL coming back into the series now. They have to be super tilted after losing that second game. The perfect start, the first blood before minions even spawned, and they still lose the game. Man.
Yeah, not good. Really, really not good. And this was DBL's chance to get a foot in the door of this series. But Loki has slammed the door on that foot, broken a couple toes, which is not. I've had that happen to me. You don't want it. Really don't want that happening.
Yeah. And we see the Baron Steel again, the most crucial moment in the game, probably.
This can't happen.
What did
Why was
Meliodas do
Meliodas
there?
out of the pit?
Yeah, I don't really understand what he was doing there either.
He got Gragas ulted out.
Yeah. It's probably true. We didn't get to see the whole play, sadly, and I did not see the play to begin with, so I can't really tell you what happened there. But we saw a very...
I'm going to rewind and check, but you continue.
A big gesture from the Vietnamese caster, and that sums up the game. He just used his hand to swipe over all of DBL, and that's what's happening here in the series, sadly. 2-0 up for Loki. Does not look too great for DBL's chances. All the fans have to be super salty with this Game 2 loss. They are a team that's famous for struggling with closing out games, and once again, it comes down to them not being able...
it wasn't... Oh, Meliodas!
Meliodas
that
messed
was
up?
horrible!
What did he do? Do tell.
He queued Gragas, and then just went over the wall and he kicked Gragas into the pit.
No, you can't be serious. What?
I hope I missaw that. I'm going to check again. That can't be right. He can't have done that.
It's a fitting end to DBL's season, if this is in fact what breaks their back in this series, which it probably will, because going back after losing this second game in this style is very hard. They have to reverse sweep Loki. I can't believe in them succeeding here. I'm sorry, but I don't see it happening.
Okay, so he didn't kick him into the pit, but he ward hops. It's a horrifically bad play from Meliodas. Let me put it that way.
Okay,
it's horrifically bad.
It's sad to see. We have a little bit of time, so I'll try to get to the moment as well.
Yeah, it's at I'll give you the timestamp in game. Give me a sec.
Oh, there it is, probably 31 something.
If you go to, I'm at 30:56. If we want to watch from there.
Okay, yeah.
which is just before it happens. So let me just walk you. Just if you want to pause there, I just want to explain what happens, and then we can watch it play out.
Yeah,
Just let me
I
know.
can't really get the right time, so I'll just
Yeah,
let
fine.
it unfold at 30:40 I'm right now. So they start the Baron.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I'm at 30:56, which is in just
Yep.
about 6 seconds. 50,
But yeah,
51,
you'll
2.
see Meliodas walk towards the back of the pit, and then for
Now,
some reason he ward hops over. You can just wait for Gragas. You have kick.
yeah, let's
Just
look at
wait, and he
this.
does kick him in. He did kick him in.
Oh my god. Complete
Meliodas,
misjudgment.
why did you go to the ward? Kicking Gragas was correct, but why kick him in?
Yeah,
Kick
that's the
him
wrong
out.
direction there. And even
What
if you
was
kick
the
him
ward
out,
hop?
DNK still has his flash available, so actually just focusing on appealing Baron and getting the Baron with your combination would have probably been the better play instead of trying to be cute and deny the Baron entrance.
The thing is, like, 50-50 Baron steals happen. And, like,
It's
people
true.
flame jungle. And Lee Sin should win them because of the Q execute damage, but it's still, they happen. But that, and if he had played that as he waited for Gragas to use his E and he kicked him out and then DNK had flashed over and stolen it anyway, I would have been like, yeah, that's really shit for DBL, but what could Melly do?
Yeah.
He's in a situation where he did what he had to do. In that situation, he just did everything wrong, and DNK's probably sitting there going like, "Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're
you're
right.
helping me."
This was an egregiously bad play for Meliodas, and I really hope we don't see him on Lee Sin again. As you rightfully pointed out in the draft phase, they actually forced him on Lee Sin. They had the same read I had in the game that they needed a facilitating jungler on DBL side, and they banned out the Sejuani and the Gragas in the second rotation. Worked out, right? Paid its
Yeah.
dividends. What a tilting game for DBL, and it's 2-0 for Loki. 4 minutes to the
How do you
next.
cut? Like, how do you come back mentality wise?
You have to
Um,
hard reset. Maybe you sub in Zhuhao at this point. Maybe you can bring in
yeah, we
some
have to.
better mentality. I'm not sure.
Before we go to the talking purely about the next game, we do have to pick an MVP. Um, I actually think it's just DNK for the steal.
Yeah, I think that's the crucial moment
He
of the
won
game.
the
Even
game.
though the rest of the game did not look too great for the NK, it was okay. The steal defined the game, and they won the game off of the steal. So yeah, it's DNK.
Yep. But yeah, 3 minutes. We will see the match point for Low-Key to see if they can take this in a clean 3-0 or if DBL can show us something, a sign of life.
Yeah, and I'll probably reset the stream once again to just have a very clean and nice game 3. So don't be surprised if the stream goes black for a minute or something. We'll be back with the third game in just 2 minutes. Welcome back for potentially the final game of the season for DBL. They need to reverse sweep Loki to stay alive, and after that second game, this will be a very, very, very tall order. What do you think? What are we going to see in the third game here? Do you give DBL a chance?
I mean, yeah, I'll give them a chance because I mean they were actually winning for a long time in that game, and then they just made a couple of very, very stupid mistakes. That
Sadly,
threw the
that's
game.
nothing new for DBL,
No,
right?
it's not. Of course, but I mean, because of that, I give them a chance.
Yeah,
I don't favour them,
that's fair.
but they've got a chance. If they get a great early game like they did last game, I don't think it'll be gifted to them again. I think the players of Loki will be glued to Venus as the early game plays out, saying like, "Just stay back, mate. Just chill out."
Yeah. I tried to catch a glimpse of who's sitting in the jungle chair. Sadly, it's directly behind the caster here on the left, so still don't know. Oh, it looks like Meliodas is still in, so no substitution coming in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just hope they don't pick Lee Sin.
DNK gets the MVP, rightfully so. This time they don't actually list the Baron Steel as an extra stat. Would have been the most important stat here.
That's a really good kill participation.
That's a really good DPM. 404 is, for being behind in the early game, 404 on a jungler is quite good.
Yeah.
I think it's, especially on the burst jungler. He's not like a high DPS jungler, so good DPM for the side of the DNK. Once again, coming in with the Dark Harvest Gragas. Yeah, this is Meliodas, so he's still in.
So, all right, if they're gonna keep him in, hopefully they maybe secure him at one of those Sejuani or Jarvan style junglers in the first rotation, or at least the first half of Champ Select.
Do you think we'll get to see the same site selection once again? Yeah, it looks like it. No. They actually changed.
No. It is swapped.
Oh, that's an. I'm not too sure if the VCS has the same format as most of the other leagues, especially in the West, where you get 1, 3, and 5 in terms of side selection. Sometimes it's also loser gets side selection. So if that's the case,
I like loser picks personally.
I think it's loser picks, because why would Loki change sides? That doesn't really make sense. So I'll guess it's loser pick. And Dashing Buffalo wants to try from the red side this time.
I mean, that probably suggests that they have a different draft plan.
Yeah. Aatrox is not... Oh, Aatrox banned from Loki's side. Very
Razor
interesting
was pretty
adaptation.
big that game. He was big.
They're not willing to first pick Aatrox, which is surprising to see, because he is probably the premier pick here on this patch. But Akali,
because they didn't ban Aatrox, they didn't ban Akali, I should say. They banned Aatrox, so Akali first pick. Loki's been banning it in 2 games. They obviously think this champion's pretty busted. So I think they're happy to get their grubby little paws onto that one.
Yeah, it's probably Artifact going to pilot the Akali here. Could go in Honey Sense as well. I don't really expect it to go... Oh, this is dangerous now. Dashing Buffalo wants to go Zyra Khan again, but it's a little bit too early in draft, and Loki has still 2 picks remaining. Yeah, it could be Caitlyn.
This can just get Kate Morgana.
Yeah, indeed. So I don't really expect them to go Rakan here. Maybe a jungler, maybe Sejuani or J4, finally, for Meliodas.
Or you can pick up a completely uncontested Vlad.
Yeah, for absolutely no reason.
Why? That's also what you could do, Loki.
I don't understand this Vlad pick at all, I have to say. I think it's still a good call to be Caitlyn Morgana here. Just counter the Rakan preemptively. What can they pick into Caitlyn Morgana that will beat it? I don't think there is something.
I mean, it's a pretty dominant lane. Yeah, it's looking like it. There's the Caitlyn. You got to pick the Morgana with it.
We really should be the drafting coaches here.
Yeah, seriously, like Papyrus. I'll work for peanuts. Like, just give me some foe every now and then. I know I'm mispronouncing that before anyone calls me out, but I like that though. Anyway, it is the Caitlyn Morgana. Not a surprise at all. And what do they answer back with? You can't really pick Rakan.
No, if they pick Rakan here, they could just leave stage already and go 0-3. Like, picking Rakan here is unacceptable. I really want to see... No, J4. Pick J... Oh my god, what is going on with Ren today?
J4 ban. Just ban Sejuani J4.
Yeah, it's very easy for Loki here.
Fine with Meliodas playing Lee.
It worked in Game 2, and even though Game 2 had a great start for Meliodas on the Lee Sin, in the end he still messed up. So yeah, just ban out the two very safe facilitating junglers and J4 and Sejuani, and you should be fine against Dashing Buffalo.
Yep, they removed the Irelia that was played by Harney last game. Didn't actually look super stellar on it, but they don't want to see it regardless. And they actually are not going to ban out the enabling junglers, as they'll take away Nor's LeBlanc, force him to show something else.
Why?
Very interesting decision. I don't know why.
It's so useless to ban LeBlanc. You beat her twice already. Why would you ban her in the third game after beating her twice already? Man, Loki, get your act together. What's going on here?
I'm not sure. Maybe they want to pick one of them? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. But isn't...
Gragas is banned out, and there's the Jarvan ban. So Sejuani's the one that's open.
Isn't it more valuable to force Meliodas on another jungler instead of picking that jungler for yourself? Like, DNK is a good champion pool.
Maybe they want to push Meliodas onto Sejuani and then pick a Trundle?
Could go Trundle or even Skarner
instead. Or they're just not going to pick them. Okay, well, why ban Sejuani? He doesn't pick it.
I guess that's fair. Now you can go Sejuani on your side and go for a very strong teamfighting setup with very clear battle lines and an assassin to come from the flank and maybe look for side lane pressure as well. I already like Loki's composition a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
You could go Sejuani and... you need a top laner. Skarner is fine as well as the tank as well.
Skarner.
I'd like to see actually a Sion here, or an Ornn. They played Ornn one game. Come on. I think the Ornn would have been a super great pick here for
I would have liked that. I love Ornn. I think Ornn's one of the coolest champions in the game. His ult is so impressive.
What?
What? No! DBL!
Stop.
You're not that dumb.
Oh my... Okay, you can just walk off stage now.
Just leave the stage. You don't want to win.
What is this? So they picked... I am at a loss of words. They picked Rek'Sai, so the highest priority early jungler there is, together with Xin Zhao. And they have no CC in top lane, so no ganks available on top lane. They have Karma mid lane into Akali, which I guess it got buffed, right? You can reveal her now with Tether, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
And then Xayah Rakan into the most prevalent counter matchup in the bot lane that would constantly push you in, so not a really good ganking setup either, especially with Unbow being easy to predict with the Black Shield as well. This is some solid anti-synergy coming in for DBL, so they really don't want to win this game.
This Rakan pick is blowing my mind.
Yeah, same here.
There are so many supports open.
Especially with Karma already locked in. Just put her in the bot lane and pick a mid laner that fares well against Akali. We saw Larson yesterday still play Corki on this patch into Akali and doing fine. Null is a very good Corki player as well. You could double ADC. You could just go for any of Null's champs, really. You can go Zoe as well.
Yeah.
Zoe
would be great.
I'm disappointed in this draft.
This is atrocious.
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't know what happened to DBL. Something has gone critically wrong in this team, I feel. They have not looked good in several weeks, honestly.
And in several different ways, right? Top lane does not look good. Null has fallen off compared to his former self. The
Yep.
jungle is a complete mess. They don't even know which jungler they want to play, and the grafting phase is, at least today, has looked atrocious. So
Pretty abysmal.
I even think the bot lane is only good on one side. I think Palette actually has fallen off a lot. And wow, as we get another slideshow, nice.
Jesus. Not doing too well in Vietnam today, apparently. But
Yeah,
seems to
Palette,
have
in my
screwed
opinion,
us up
Palette's
badly.
champion pool is a little bit of an issue. We've seen him
I agree.
go back to the Volibear a lot. He has experimented with a lot of picks, and apparently, he does not know any other champ to pair with Desire here into the most dangerous time to pick Rakan. So
I mean, he might be like a bit annoyed that he can't pick Pantheon.
yeah, that's true. It's
You're
actually
not
true.
allowed to pick it. Old Pantheon isn't in the game anymore. Like you can't pick it.
I mean, both games he played Pantheon did not look too great, so
Yeah, but he did
coach
play
is
it
probably
twice.
happy.
I mean, would you think their coach is making good decisions?
No.
So maybe their coach is saying, "Oh, lock in Pantheon. Let's go. Great for us." But still, early shove does actually go in favor of the DBL bot lane. They didn't have to leash,
Yeah.
so you get that little advantage.
Look at this interesting adaptation from Hani. He goes very aggressive, Nuguri style in the top lane, with going for the Clapdomancy into a ranged matchup, which means he wants to go for many, many hookshot trades. And we already see he got a lot of
Yep.
value out of that in the first few trades. No bag of gold, sadly for him, but a lot of
Yeah, very
sustain.
unfortunate. I do really like though Rezo's response. It's very simple, but just putting a ward in that first bush means that he always manages to get auto attack trades in response, so he doesn't come out at a huge health
And he has
deficit.
Klepto as well. This is a
Yeah,
full
wow,
farm
this
top
is
lane.
a
Let's
very
mine some
greedy
gold.
way.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
mine some gold.
this is capitalism.
Capitalism
The
top lane.
capitalists up in the top lane. Yeah, I love it. Capitalists always come out on top, after all, and this is hard to watch.
Nothing
My
happened
God,
there because he was spotted. Ooh, this
thankfully.
is dangerous now for
Ooh,
Meliodas.
this is really dangerous. Meliodas, you got to get out of here, son. Burns his flash, but there's a flash in response. Can they find the last bit of damage? They can. Get the graphic off the screen! Rizo! Oh my.
I think you should take a nip of your very delicious
I don't want
Coke there.
to. I tried some. It's really bad.
You tried
Right.
some? Nice.
Yeah, I tried some. I mean, it was sitting open on my desk.
I
I
still
was like,
think
oh,
it's an
that's
honorable
good.
nip every time it shows on screen. No, I think you should. You'd probably die if you do that.
I. It's terrible. Like, I don't. I'm not going to go down this path because
There it is
it's a
again.
long
So
one. Put graphics in the middle of a screen
yeah, it's not great.
like that. Come on, it's basic. But Meliodas was just completely caught out there. The flash follows were good. Now we can actually see
I
what's
thought they
happening.
would get
Ryzen does
Razor here
manage
as
to get
well.
away. I thought so as well, but are we coming back to action? No, we just don't want to see the end of that play. Um, but still, first blood is secured. The Chad Scorpion is pretty happy. He can go back and get his Predator boots nice and early, which he has gone and done. So we could see a Skarner come rocketing into a lane soon enough.
Yeah, and I really want him to revisit top lane again because Hani did not actually get a whole lot from this play. I thought they had enough time to give the kill over to Hani. They did not. Kill over to Skarner is not bad either because you get more experience. You can farm your jungle faster, get to level 6 a little bit more quickly. So it's not bad to give the kill over to Skarner, but I think it's probably better on Hani's Camille, especially looking at the last few games where Hani had struggled a little bit in the top lane. So yeah,
Yeah.
Doink, please abuse the flashless Vladimir again. Should be an easy kill.
Yep.
He's level 5 already.
Absolutely.
He's a
And
level ahead of Razor, by the way. Oof.
yeah, this is really rough. And after losing his flash and that, he has to play very, very careful. So Hani, looking for those klepto hookshot trades, is a happy chappy, to say the least. So Rezo has got that potion of wrath ready to go.
Yeah, it does not really do a whole lot for Vladimir, though.
No, it does not. Do you remember that meta where that everyone
Oh
started
my
that
god,
to be
that
able
was
to
such a
trade?
horrible top lane matchup. Please
That was
never
such a
bring that
stupid
back.
meta.
Riven
Yeah,
level 1 with the pot at 10 HP to get back to 150
yeah,
and win the trade. Then snowball the
yeah.
game from that. Oh my
It
god,
was
that,
very dumb.
that was
What
very
was
dumb.
that? DK just wanders into mid lane. Just hello, my name is Skarner.
I think he wanted to try to help Artifact fix the wave to give him a better backport timing, because Null already invested his teleport, and there's no teleport on Artifact, so they have to invest more resources to ensure that Artifact does not lose even more CS. He's already behind. Only by very few CS, though, which is a good sign in this
Yep,
matchup. He's level 6 now. Some
absolutely.
kill pressure.
Yep. DK visiting that top lane again, clearing out vision, putting Rezo on notice.
And Razor is level 6 now, so there's very little kill pressure on him. No ignite. He has his ult available. If he just hits ult on 2 players while they dive him and then goes into his pool, he gets around 400 health back from the ult, so he should be safe. No real gank opportunity anymore in the top lane. Where does DNK find his first level 6 kill? What do you think?
I mean, the mid lane's a pretty solid option. I mean, Karma can't really get
Yeah,
away
that's true.
too easily, and you have a lot of burst with Artifact.
And you have a good start of the fight as well. If Artifact lands his first ult iteration with the stun, can just flash
Yep.
ult then with Skarner, and this should be a super free kill for your mid laner. So I agree, mid lane is a
Yep.
good option. But
Might
it seems
also
to be
want to go
focusing
bot
on top
lane
lane.
and try and get your Caitlyn a little bit
Oh,
ahead, but no, they're
Razo!
going to go top. Razo, that's a huge mistake, man. You can't use your ult like that. But oh no, the communication was bad.
Bad is an understatement there. That was
That was
horribly done.
awful.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't think they knew how that worked.
No, I think they were very surprised they was not able to. Oh, I'm sorry, to pull him out of the cage there. Um, both
Oh,
abilities.
they're going for the next half of the kill though. Rezo, oh no, run little vampire, and down he goes. Uh, no harm, no foul. He got the kill.
I guess so. The communication still
Yeah,
looked very
totally.
bad, but
Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah, that wasn't the best dive up there, and actually, it actually does matter. It maybe not the biggest deal ever, but not getting an assist is a pretty big deal. And speaking of assists, Nor will get one on the kill of Artifact for a nice little gank there by Meliodas.
yeah, and for once, Artifact wanted to look for an aggressive trade, immediately got punished. He's very frustrated with his mid lane matchups. He knows that the enemy has the Kleptomancy. There is some mining of gold going on in the mid lane as well. As you can see, he's very successfully getting a lot of items out of this mid lane matchup. So very frustrating to play against that as melee. You know, you give up more and more gold to the enemy, and the enemy is already sitting at a very low item efficiency cost. So Karma with the Athenes gets to your first item power spike very quickly.
That
Artifact.
they did. Yeah, Artifact is going to struggle to have any real solo kill potential, but he can still just be an Akali that will scale up into the mid game and play some team fights, try and kill Big Koro as often as he can.
And we have to look at the bot lane a little bit. We talked about the draft being very bad for the bot lane, but actually look at the matchup. They're doing fine.
Yeah,
I'm
they've
not quite
just
sure why they're doing fine, but Loki's bot lane
gonna
is
see
not
how.
punishing this matchup.
Yeah, this is not a good sign from Loki's bot lane. They should be crushing this matchup, but we haven't really seen enough of the bot lane to necessarily know why. But
They don't.
this is much, much more even than it
They
should
haven't even
be.
gotten a single plating here, which is very surprising considering Caitlyn Morgana is very good at pushing and Caitlyn very good at taking the platings as well.
Yeah.
So good start for DBL's bot lane, the shining light in the first playoff series, and good games this series as well, I'd say. Not quite as strong as they were against Flash.
Rezo getting absolutely trucked. He's not having a good time at all anymore.
He's struggling. He's level 8, so one more level and he gets his level 9 short cooldown Q, which will probably help him be a little bit stronger in trades, but he still gave up a solo kill, so Overall, Hani accelerated, has more CS, has the push advantage, and will dominate this matchup for a little bit longer. I think the breaking point is probably at 2 items for Rezo, especially if Hani does not go for heal reduction in his build.
Yep. And finally, some pushes coming in. 1 plating already secured. They want to make it 2. And Hardy wants to make it 2 up in the top lane as he was thinking about a little dive there, but decides not to. And the 3rd plating should go down as we instead watch DNK walk into the
Yeah, it went down. His turret sitting on 2. Some of the observing in the VCS is a little bit wonky, but we got our information, so that's great.
Yep. That we did. Spam T2 is in chat, everyone. Gotta love it. But finally, this Caitlyn lane doing what it's meant to do, getting plates, getting a gold lead. It's now a completed Infinity Edge compared to a Warhammer and a BF sword. And Meliodas is in a lot of trouble here. Down he goes after getting grabbed. That is an interesting TP.
What was that TP about? That's another thing VCS teams really have to fix coming into Worlds. We already look ahead. It's still a long way to get to Worlds, obviously. Loki still has to win another series after this one, probably against Flash. We're being realistic about the chances of all the teams. But yeah, they need to fix their over-aggressive TPs. So many... not even over-aggressive, it's more panicky, right?
Yeah, that was almost over-defensive.
Yeah,
it's like he feared
you're right.
But there was no possibility for a turn, and there was no possibility for a further play. It's just a complete waste of the cooldown.
Yeah, maybe they anticipated the TP from Rezo as well, so they wanted to be first on the TP, but in the end it's just a TP for nothing trade. And now priority for Rezo in terms of TP in the top lanes, which means he just gets to farm a little bit longer. Not the greatest decision there. And finally we get to see the bot lane dominate, as they should have a little bit earlier already, but now it's not too late. There still are plate golds to mine. Celebrity already sitting on 3 platings. And look at this again. It's just a Q landing. Oh, that's unfortunate for Bikoro, really, because it looked like the Q would probably be out of range. Very...
Here comes the gank on the bot lane, though. The binding lands. The Black Shield is on Celebrity, but Venus is managing to get away. Rezo wants to make more of an issue, but the stop...
Oh, so close!
Unfortunate timing on that. Celebrity gets smacked by the Karma. The empowered Q. Now they're trying to
just take the top turret, Hani.
Best.
What are you doing, Hani?
Yeah, they're getting Herald. This is silly. Just
DNK
push the tower. DNK, he doesn't need help.
Oh, okay. I know why he did this. I know why he did this. Look at the time. They want to spawn the Herald immediately and get the platings before 14 minutes hits.
Well, they've got to do it.
I'm not sure if it's worth it, because I think Hani would have gotten the solo gold. Oh, they give the... Okay. I actually like this adaptation. Was a little bit too quick to call them out. So
that's a lot of gold.
That's a lot of gold in Hani's pockets. So good read for them that they could get more gold if he turned and finished the Rift Herald immediately. And I have to comment Venus on his play.
Round 2 in the bot lane. Oh, never mind.
I think Venus played this dive as good as he can defensively.
Oh, and Rezo, you're in some trouble. Hextech Ultimatum comes out.
They learned!
Before the heal even comes in, they chop him in half. Down he goes. Now this inner turret's actually in a lot of trouble. Nor will do his best to clear, but I don't know if he can stop this from going down. He's going to move forward onto Hardy here. He wants the kill, but I don't know if that's going to happen. An artifact hits the E. He'll get that kill. Oh dear, DBL. It was very, very close to some kills, but in the end, all they get is a dragon.
And Meliodas...
their top lane inner.
Meliodas is the typical meme doc in the burning house. He's taking dragon and looking at them and looking at the map and saying, "This is fine.
Yeah,
I'm doing my job. I take the dragons."
I feel like in the Meliodas version of the meme, he's on fire as well.
Oh man.
Because
you're on fire today with your commentary, I have to say.
Look, I'm very tired. I've had a long week.
Long week of playing WoW.
playing World of Warcraft, but also try to mix in the fact that I'm moving house in 2 days.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I've
That's fair.
packed up my whole life. It's been a busy one, and I've been missing some VCS.
And
So
probably a lot of staring at queue times, right? So that's very stressful.
oh god, I don't even get me started. I'm in queue from logging in right now.
What a surprise!
Uh,
We had a
should be done
4K
by the
gold
time.
lead, so I think you're on time with that one. This game will not last too much longer, judging from the first game, where Loki had a 4K gold lead as well, and closed out in around 28 minutes with some mid-game blunders. So if they play a little bit more cleanly, then they should be able to close out even quicker.
That they should, and the question is, where can DBL fight back here? They're going to make the attempt potentially up to the top lane, but Null is spotted out, so that's not going to happen, and instead it's going to be the push into the mid lane, but he should be able to clear that out, no problem. He is Karma. So, no big deal there.
Look at the
Look at the
itemization, by the
Rek'Sai
way. Yeah, I just wanted to say the same.
Rek'Sai
Nice.
build,
We're on one page.
I don't think that good.
That
I
is-
don't think Meliodas is going to be getting a target.
That is so random. No one else in this team has the QSS. He's the first to build QSS on a jungler. I've never seen that.
Yeah. I don't know about that
That's so weird.
one.
I guess he's safe now, because and the enemy team
Yeah,
can
but
just ignore him for the
DNK
rest of the
ever gonna
game.
ult-
Yeah.
Like, I don't think DNK was ever going to ult him except, like, literally just to stop him stealing.
It's
Baron.
probably happening
Maybe he really
once
wants
in this
revenge.
game. I think it's probably happening in the next few minutes. And DNK will ult him, and they think, okay, we got the kill, and then he QSS out, and everyone's like, what did I just see?
Yeah.
And then ignore him for the rest of the game.
Because I know what'll happen is I'd love to have a little spy in the comms when that happens, because it'll be, what? Mikhail's on Rakan? Wait, what?
Yeah, I hope they have not spotted this. And by the way, he gives QSS and then goes for R boots anyway.
A refillable pot? Yeah, this is an interesting Rek'Sai build, to say the least. He doesn't do anything.
Look at the crit! 535. Woo!
Oh no. Playing against Caitlyn, man. Playing against Caitlyn.
What is
Not always the best time.
Okay, Meliodas is pretty
I
down
think
with this
Meliodas
game.
is just tilted.
Yeah, I think so too. We just saw him dance
Like,
there in the middle of
He's
nowhere.
got a big old. Yeah, I genuinely think he's just done. The mental is boom.
I mean,
Razor
after the
gets
second game, it's kind of
absolutely
understandable
ruined.
that the mental is boom, right? They had,
Yeah, but part of being a pro player is that you can bounce back. Like, it's
yeah,
hard. Don't
it's
get me
hard,
wrong,
and
but-
not a whole lot of teams are capable of doing this. Reverse
I
sweeps.
think that's great of it. Like, reverse sweeping is incredibly
Yeah.
difficult. Just even without the mental factor, like winning 3 games in a row is really hard, especially without a safety net.
Yeah.
It's just hard. But like spam dancing, that's a particular level of tilt.
Yeah, that's true. Especially not in vision of the
possibly
enemy,
beyond.
so you're not
Yeah,
even
exactly.
getting
I mean,
anything.
spam dancing at the enemy.
Oh, there is.
Ooh, Artifact in some trouble. And the QSS does not save does not save Meliodas.
What a surprise.
Razor goes forward, tries desperately to get something done, but cannot. In the end, it is just for the one row, and Harney wasn't even there. Harney's just pushing.
Yeah, by the way,
Harney
Hani is
doesn't
3
notice
levels
enemy
ahead of Razor. I have no idea how Razor consistently gets behind 3 levels on all the matchups. He's only down
I mean,
30 CS.
Maybe Harney hasn't been scrimming this week. Maybe he's been doing what I've been doing, playing Classic WoW, because he's just grinding.
Yeah,
He's just mob grinding over here. He wants to hit 60 as fast as possible.
Hey, you got 2 kills as well, so it's not a pure PvE server, that's for sure.
True. He's found some alliance noobs to gank, and he has also taken a bot lane inhibitor, best
20
inhibitor
minutes.
to take. Yep, he's doing
Look
very
at
well.
look at the QSS here, coming in clutch for Meliodas. Ah!
Wow!
Oh man, what a game. Sorry for us derailing a little bit and trolling around, but yeah, this game is
I mean,
not very
we're
close.
just DBL strolling
Yeah.
around. Like, this. I think DBL just understands that this is it. Like, there's no real coming back here.
No, I don't think so either.
They didn't even finish the ward off.
I mean, we already called them out of after the draft and said they can just walk off stage with this draft because the draft is atrocious.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think the draft actually fell down in the places we expected it to. I didn't mind the Rek'Sai pick.
I'm.
I would have preferred the Sejuani.
I don't think
but
Rek'Sai is that great a champion anymore, and I hate Vladimir,
agree.
especially in VCS. So
Ooh, Null tried to get a play going, but Artifact says, sorry, I think it's me that makes the plays. But here comes DNK. Null gets bound up. Meliodas wants to share his QSS, but that's actually not how it works. A lot of damage coming out of Big Coro, but it's not going to matter. He's locked in the X-Tech ultimatum. DNK goes down in the backside. That did go down to that Rek'Sai ult.
oh, Vlad
Hardy
ult. Look at the Vlad
throws
ult here.
forward.
Whoa,
Yep,
the
Ryzo
damage
hit one person.
almost tickled him.
Yeah.
Man, this is sad to look at, to be honest.
Yeah, this is. I don't. It's interesting because they're called the Dashing Buffalo, but I don't think their legs work. It's the lying down Buffalo.
I mean, this draft particularly, there's only one dashing player in Palette, and he's denied by Morgana. So not a single dashing Buffalo, in fact, here in this draft, and we can clearly see that.
So, yep, this is just maybe one of you, maybe like one of your carriers should have built the QSS. That would have been cool. Hey?
Doesn't matter really. I don't think so. And now look at this Vladimir damage here. Insane impact.
Yeah, just doing so much. Reizo really just the MVP of this series.
And I mean, Razor has not played too badly. I think Meliodas has looked worse than Razor in this series.
I completely agree.
But yeah, I think he has big champion pool issues. Going back to Vladimir immediately in the last game, even though they had different options available to them. I don't quite remember the bans. I think Aatrox was banned, right? But they could have gone with Irelia. They could have gone with Camille themselves.
They banned Irelia.
They banned Irelia. Fair enough.
They banned out Irelia.
Could have gone with a tank maybe to get a little bit more mid-game CC and team fighting capabilities. Instead,
I know you're gonna hate what I'm about to say.
Oh no!
Kennen.
Here we go.
I actually think Kennen would have been better.
I mean, Kennen would have been better than Vladimir. I agree. It's not a great pick either, but it's better than Vladimir.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Palette's dead, and I think Meliodas he doesn't actually get a follow, so he's just chunked out. Baron is being taken, and in the base, Hani is just chilling.
Meliodas, that's one wall too far, by the way. You need to get a little bit closer. It's 12-12, so Meliodas has a chance to redeem himself for the last game.
Maybe.
And he has
Here
QSS.
comes the TP,
so...
but no, Hani's coming in, and the Baron is secured. A blast cone popped to make there be no chance. Meliodas uses the ult by another second. But down he goes. He came out of the ground straight into a knife. And
I didn't even
with those
see him.
kills, triple kill for Artifact, and it might just be a triple kill.
This could be a surrender, by the way. Palette just used his ult.
I mean, they're just giving up. I don't think they'll actually surrender, but this is it.
Yeah, I recently watched some Worlds highlights, and I saw, I think, Azubu Frost and the second World Championship surrender the second game. That was interesting to see. In the final of Worlds, they surrendered a game.
I don't think you're allowed anymore.
No, I don't think so either. They could have surrendered this at 15, by the way.
Yeah, they could have. But yeah, that is 3-0. DBL's season has ended. See you in 2020. Hopefully you've had some roster changes.
And I mean, the result is a little bit too harsh, I think. It could have been a 3-1 here. Low-key, definitely should have lost the second game. Big blunders, especially from Meliodas' side. Maybe one of the worst plays of the season, of the split, contesting Palette and Neven.
I genuinely think it was the worst play. Because Neven's one didn't actually matter. It was terrible, but it didn't matter.
It was hilarious and terrible, but this one had way bigger implications. That's definitely true.
Yeah. And I also think it was just as stupid.
And
I actually
what
think it
is
was
DBL going to
almost
look like next season? Where do you think the
uh,
changes would be most welcome?
top,
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 definitely top. Yeah.
top and jump.
Can they find a competent top laner? That's
I
the.
mean,
Can
how much money do
Kaido?
they have?
Yeah, I have
Can
no
they
idea.
afford Yoshino?
That would be super
I'm not
interesting
even
league.
kidding.
Yeah, imagine. Null
I'm
gets
not
back
even
to
joking.
maybe even jungle. I actually want to see them pick up a strong pathing jungler. Because Meliodas is good
Yeah.
at ganking. He's good in matters where you need to be active early, where you need to gank and disregard your camps. But I think picking up someone like Sorn would be a good option. Picking up a very self-focused jungler, a very pathing-oriented jungler that can kind of do what Levi does,
Yeah.
would be an interesting adaptation. Not sure how loyal they are to Meliodas, but considering Zhu Hao was subbed out the first series,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that kind of loyalty has any place in a pro team. You just should pick the best players.
yeah.
Personally,
And
that's my
interesting to
opinion.
see if Kaido can develop as well, right? Maybe Kaido is in
Yeah,
fact
I
the
think
solo
they've
queue
got the
monster.
whole off season. They've got the whole off season to grow him into an actual pro player rather than just a solo queue monster. So something we should also do while the game is fresh in our minds is pick an MVP.
Hmm.
Kind of tricky for game three. I don't think anyone had like a real bonkers performance. I
What
think it
really
was just
broke
a
the game open? Top lane? Probably the top lane play, right? I
yeah,
mean, bot lane
yeah. I
won
mean, Harney
as
sort of just
well.
PvE. Harney sort of just PvE. I actually think DNK did a lot on the Skarner.
Hmm. Not sure. DNK messed up the communication with Hani in the top lane there.
That's true. Yeah, that was really
It's
bad.
actually pretty hard to decide an MVP for this one. I think I'm leaning towards Hani. I think he played a very clean split push game. Got the first inhibitor at 20 minutes. Did not die the whole game. On Camille.
Yeah,
Won the early trades.
yeah. I think I'm happy to give it to Harney.
That's a great look for Loki. They are probably looking at facing the loser. They are definitely facing the loser, but they are probably looking at Flash. Sunday in two
Yeah,
weeks
probably.
is where they have to qualify for Worlds. And looking at Flash, I mean, the most important pick against Flash is Aatrox. Stark looks like a completely different player on Aatrox compared to any other pick. So if you have Hani on good form and can deny Stark his Aatrox, maybe you can actually play through top lane as well.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd favor Loki right now over Flash, even though this series did not. I mean, they won 3-0, and two of the games were very clean. The second game is still on my mind and still bugging me a little bit. But Flash lost a game to DBL, and Loki did not. So even that's
Yeah,
pointing towards Loki.
very, very true. So it's going to be interesting what happens moving forward. But regardless, today it was very dominant performance out of Loki. If they can carry that form into the next few weeks, perhaps they will be the second seed at World.
Yeah, I'd put my money on them right now.
I would. I would agree.
And that's sadly all for today. We waited a long time to get back to casting VCS action. It's only one best of three, pretty much, because it's only 3 games. Um, we have to wait 2 more weeks. I think if you're up to it, we might look to do something next weekend. Maybe another little final preview. Maybe looking at all the qualified teams and looking at ahead to
Yeah,
Worlds once again. So
yeah, we can work something out.
yeah,
I'm gonna. I mean, as I said, from Monday on, I'll be streaming, mate.
yeah, great.
I'm back.
Check out Everyday's stream if you're interested in World of Warcraft. And
Yeah, exactly. Come watch the classic.
yeah, thank you for joining us today once again, and we'll be back with the final, maybe with something in between as well. Look out at the Discord for something I might announce. Maybe check out my Twitter as well. Check out Everyday's Twitter for interesting political takes and stuff like that as well.
And shit memes. The Twitter cycle. But anyway, glad to have been back. See you guys when we see you.